Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there. Sure. Yeah. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here, based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me, absolutely happened to me. For years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Welch's can't make everything make sense. Like why your mom still listens to the radio or what she meant when she sent that emoji. But a zero sugar drink that's still full of fruit flavor, we made that make sense. And strawberry, passion fruit, Concord grape, and more. You gotta sip it to get it. New Welch's Zero Sugar. Let's fruit stuff up.
This week, in Clemmons, North Carolina, disgusting conditions, idolizing Charles Manson, and burying people in your backyard apparently have devastating consequences. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another insane edition. And this will be, it's the last regular one of the calendar year here. Yeah. And so we've decided to throw a crazy one at you.
Terrific.
This week. And normally we do North Carolina. We did an express, or normally this would be an express North Carolina, but we're going to do the full-length North Carolina and just make the schedule a little weird because you know what? It's the holidays and we're going to have a good time. And let's all, when you hear this, you'll understand it's a festive story. It needed to be told now. It's very festive. Before we get to that, I just want to say, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com.
Oh, yeah.
Tickets for live shows. Everything is on sale. The whole year is on sale right now. We're only doing 12 shows next year. So
it's crazy. Yeah.
They're going fast. Get your tickets quick and early and make your plans. We cannot wait. San Francisco, Sacramento, Austin, Phoenix, Kansas City, Oklahoma City, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Nashville, Durham, Tarrytown, Boston. I believe those are the cities. Yeah. Yes. So get in there. We're excited for them. We can't wait. They're going to be a bunch of big shows. That's shutupandgivememurder.com, and tickets are available right now. They'd make a lovely holiday gift. Let's just say that. A lovely Christmas present, a stocking stuffer, a digital stocking stuffer. So check your phone. Hey, look at that. All stuffed up. Also, stuff it up in your stocking, will you? Also, definitely head over to patreon.com/crimeinsports. That's where you get all the bonus materials.
Yeah.
And it is all there. We have a couple hundred bonus episodes you get immediately upon subscribing, and they're only available on there. Anybody $5 a month or above. A mere cup of coffee. Are you kidding me? Indeed. So get in there, do that. New ones every other week. One Crime in Sports, one Small Town Murder. You get access to it all. This week, because it's Christmas, we're only doing one episode, though. Yeah. Once a year, we do one episode, and that is Christmas. Yeah. And we're doing, it's a good one, though. We're going to talk about The Garden, the HBO or the Max documentary here about, it's basically a commune where you mix, like, back-to-the-earth hippies with militia survivalists, and they somehow meld together and have weird sit-down meetings, and it's strange stuff. So we'll talk all about that. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. And, of course, you should certainly listen to, not on Patreon, just out there, Your Stupid Opinions, our new podcast, and, of course, Crime in Sports as well. Tons of murder this year. Go back through the 2023 year. A lot of murder this year. So if you want to hear some murder stories, that's a good place to do that. All right, disclaimer. It's a comedy show.
Okay, yeah.
This is a comedy show. The stories are, and especially this story, you're going to go, this isn't real. Scarily enough, every damn detail of this is real.
Jesus.
If we could make this up, we would be way more talented than we are. Because
doing this.
That's what I mean. We'd be writing crazy stories because this is wild stuff, though. But what we don't do, regardless of how crazy it is, what we don't do, we go out of our way not to do. We don't make fun of the victims or the victim's family.
Why is that, James?
Because we're assholes.
Yeah, but
we're not scumbags, and that's how that goes. So that sounds good to you. Man, you're going to hear a wild story. Right. If you think true crime and comedy should never, ever, ever go together, I don't know, maybe we're not for you. Maybe you shouldn't have picked a true crime comedy show to listen to. But I don't think maybe it's as bad as you think it is. I'm telling you. Yeah, the jokes are in the right places. Let's just say that. So if you don't think they go together, no bitching later because you were warned. For everybody else, though, that wants to hear an insane story and have a crazy time and, I guess, ring in the new year with madness, I think it's time for everyone to sit back, clear the lungs, arms to the sky, everyone. Let's all shout, shut up and give me murder. Let's do this. What do you say, everybody?
Okay.
Let's go on a trip, shall we?
Let's run it down the line.
Heading on down to North Carolina here.
Put the hammer down.
Put the hammer down. We're going to Clemmons, North Carolina. Yeah. And that is not like Roger Clemmons. It's C-L-E, 2 M's, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 M's in that one. This is in north central North Carolina. It's only about 15 minutes to Winston-Salem, so it's right outside of there.
Yeah. Right.
So, if you're hankering for a smoke, there you go. The old Winston-Salem. I love a state where half the towns are named after cigarette brands. Yeah. Isn't that awesome? Wow. Or vice versa. That's fun, isn't it?
2 brands right there.
Yeah, right there. Winston's only for one company at first.
Marlboro Newport.
Get on in there, yeah. North Carolina, too, back in the day, like even in the 90s when you couldn't really smoke a lot of places, you could smoke everywhere there.
Everywhere.
They didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
It was like $1.50 a pack, and you could smoke anywhere you want. There's just at the border. Here's a carton for you, just like you were going to World War II. They just hand you a carton as you get on the plane. So it's about 40 minutes to Summerfield, North Carolina, which was our last North Carolina episode, Cousins, Lovers, and Killers. And
yikes.
The people involved were all 3. They were cousins, lovers, and killers. If you missed that one, definitely head back. This is in Forsyth County or Forsyth County. I don't know how it's said.
I think
down
it's
south.
Forsyth. Yeah.
That's how it's probably supposed to be, but a lot of things are like,
you
know what I mean? Might be Sith. I don't know how you'd say it there. You never know. Area code 336. Now, the motto here, this is fun. They have 2 mottos. One is Modern Amenities, Southern Charm.
Oh.
But yeah, there's still there's plumbing is what they're saying.
We flush the toilet, but we pretend like it composts.
No more poop buckets for us here. The other one, discover Clemmons, which isn't really a motto. That's just boring.
Been done.
Yeah, discover Clemmons, which a lot of people have, and let's find out how they did. With a little bit of history here, there's a lot of history. This village was settled in 1802.
Jesus.
So it's been around a while. Peter Clemmons was the guy that settled it.
Pete,
so there you go. Old Petey Clems named it after himself. He moved here with his wife, Harriet. His wife's name was Harriet Butner. He married her, and they had 14 children.
If I were her, I'd get married as fast as possible to get rid of that bullshit.
That's what I mean. Just to say, I can have 14 children, not in my Butner. So he purchased 216 acres of land for $542.
That's a great deal.
Which is smoking deal. That's a smoking deal. Let me just say. As far as real estate goes, you're not going to beat that. That's pretty good.
Pretty fantastic.
Not too shabby. So I guess he tried to bring his neighbors together and say, hey, let's make a town here. Let's do this. And he did. And then it was first called Clemmonsville, and they decided, what's with the ville? Just drop it. There you go. Stagecoach lines ran through Clemmons on a regular basis, and they had a power station there pretty early. So they were trying to do this stuff here. They're trying to get into it. The church, too, they have a big thing, the Moravian Church, I guess, is a big deal here. He began the Moravian Church. The Clemmons Moravian Church began as the vision of Edwin Theodore Clemmons, who was the grandson of the founder.
Oh, Pete's grandkid created the church.
That's what I'm saying, absolutely. He said that he erected a church and a school and a parsonage. Okay. Erected it all. There you go.
Erect anything.
All erected there. When we're talking about churches, let's keep erections out of it, probably. The Clemmons Little League baseball team made the 2002 Little League World Series as the Southeast team before losing. So there you go.
Oh, whoops.
That's all right. And also there was one of the players on the team ended up being the 2011 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series champion.
Oh, we drove a NAS truck.
A NAS truck, yeah. A truck car
pickup
there.
Truck that are real fast, yeah.
That a fast truck there. It's Austin Dillon is his name.
Good for you, Austin.
Good for you, Austin. That's the dream there. I'm driving the fastest pickup truck I can find. Reviews of this town, 5 stars. All right. On Haynes Mall Boulevard, you can find anything.
Anything.
Wow.
At the Haynes store. Underwear and undershirts.
I don't think there's all that, though. There is Lowe's and Home Depot.
Oh,
so that's the same store, essentially.
Fucking competing, yeah.
Costco, and Sam's Club, again, the same store. So you can find anything, 2 of the same store, all over the place. Walmart and Target, again.
Of course.
Best Buy, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Shoe Carnival. Holy shit, there's a Shoe Carnival. Call the movers, Jimmie. I'm going.
Even Hobby Lobby has their Michaels there. Look at this.
Look at that. Ross also, if you want. Yep. World Market.
Max. Oh, World Market. At that.
Home Goods, Kohl's, and a Bed Bath & Beyond.
They've got that's
not there anymore, I'm sure. But also, there are many restaurants located on that same street. Yeah, they're called a street of strip malls, is what you have.
Yeah, that's
there.
what it sounds like.
That's called. That's called America. You live in it. Enjoy.
Sounds like a small Raleigh is what you got happening.
That's it. Yeah, just a mini one there. Here's 5 stars. The food in this area is great. We really have a wide variety of choices that you can pick from. Well, I bet there's a vast variety. To name a few, we have Applebee's, Olive Garden. Oh, my God, the choices so far. Dario's, Five Guys, a few Asian places, and more.
And
they have it all, Jimmie. They have it all.
They have everything from cheeseburgers to fake Italian.
Well, my favorite place to go is Olive Garden because I really like their lasagna. Jesus Christ, help us all.
It's so upsetting to you, isn't it?
It's so upsetting. You have no idea how it hurts me. It hurts my soul to hear someone say that. It really does. I just want to cook for them one time and go, see the difference? This is
but they're not. I think anybody going to Olive Garden has resigned that they don't have a good Italian palate.
They don't think. We found out, we didn't know this, but we found out from a Southern listener of ours, because we have tons of Southern listeners, that They call, in his neck of the woods, at least in Georgia, I believe. Georgia, right?
Yeah.
They say he was from. They call Italian food literally, and not just joking around, just that's what they call it, Mario food. And I'm like, well, you know what? I don't know what to tell you then. I can't help you.
It's just...
Didn't realize
Jesus
it was so
Christ.
casual. I was like, all right, fine.
Nobody recognizes that is not okay.
It's-
Like if you were going
There's
out
no
for
Italian
tacos and
people
said, let's
around.
go
They
get
don't
some
care.
Jose food. Would that be okay to say?
I mean,
I don't know if that's okay or not.
in North Carolina, in an area with neither Mexicans nor Italians, probably no one would care. I
Get
think.
some more.
Or
Hey, I don't know, man. That
some-
feels shitty.
It feels.
I can't believe you can say, let's get Mario food and not feel like a piece of shit.
It's very strange, man. It's wild. So
I'd feel like an asshole if I just spouted out some ethnic typical name. You know what I mean? Some stereotypical name for it.
It's
And then
weird.
be like, let's go get their food.
Let's go get their food. That'd be weird. It'd be very weird to go, let's go get some fucking Lim Kim food. That'd be strange.
Unless the restaurant's called Lim Kim.
And that would be different. That'd be okay at that point.
Let's go get some Mings. All right, but the restaurant is called Mings, so it's fine.
I hope I could only say maybe the first Italian restaurant around there was called Mario's, and it just stuck. That's all I'm going to say. That and say there we go. It's a guy named Mario moved down there, and he tried to make a go of it.
Yeah, for me.
3 stars here.
Yeah.
Clemmons is a small town outside of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Clemmons is a very safe area. We'll be the judge of that. We have statistics. I am disappointed that there are not a lot of restaurants in the town. We were just told you have everything on earth. This is why reviews are amazing, because 2 people can look at one mountain and one person sees a valley. It's just so strange.
Yeah, well, perhaps somebody looks at all that and goes, no, that's not for me. That's not edible. Gross.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then the next one again, disagreeing.
Yeah.
2 stars. Very concerned about the growing crime. Last person, very safe. This one, growing crime. Terrified. Not a safe or good suburb to be in. Really? Is it just teeming with crime? The community feel, in quotes, is a scam. It's a scam. They're scamming
a fucking veneer.
That's right. It's a big
fraud.
It's a big scheme and a scam. The schools don't care about education. Bad people are coming out of there.
The school doesn't care.
Well, the bad people coming from the schools isn't the school's fault. Those people come from a home into the school, and the schools they spend a little time in the day there. The rest of it's on somebody else.
Correct.
It's a pain to commute, and there are not even many jobs in this area of North Carolina. Sounds like you should fucking move, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a big city right there.
It's all right there. Here's 1 star, last one. Clemmons is not a very good community.
Okay.
Went from the best, I love it, to not very good. It sucks that Tanglewood Park does not have a fun fair with a Ferris wheel or a televised PGA golf tournament like it once did a long time ago.
Okay.
That's your main complaint? There's no Ferris wheel or televised PGA tournament here, so the town sucks?
As soon as they pulled that Ferris wheel down, it all went downhill.
It all went downhill. Or at least it could have a live televised opera live on PBS with famous opera singers or symphonies like the Boston Popples. I think they mean Pops, but it came out Popples. Or Andrea Bocelli. Because he's coming to Clemmons to sing for your PBS, because that would make you happier. You moved to a rural community in North Carolina and you were like, there's not enough high culture here. What the fuck? What do you want?
There's barely enough people in New York City to support the opera.
What do you want?
The opera is hard to
It's
get
expensive.
people to come to.
Yeah. Man, people.
Popples?
They have
Wasn't that a fun toy in the
Boston
80s?
Popples. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Wasn't the inside out things?
But this is Popels. Was that Popples? Is that the spelling?
Yeah,
of it?
that's how I think it was spelled.
There you
Well,
go.
it was a
Boston
2
Popples.
Ps,
They
maybe.
want.
I don't know. They want Popples that are slightly racist.
So yeah, something like that. Population of this town, 21,032. So not a huge town, not a tiny town.
Good
It's
size.
kind of a good-sized town. A few more females than males here. More. The median age is about 3 years over the national average. It's about 42 here. 58.3% married. Very high in the married department.
Yeah.
This is definitely a take your family here kind of suburb. A lot of people married with children, that sort of thing. Race in this town, 78.7% white, 6.2% black, 4.4% Asian, 9.5% Hispanic. So they mixed up somewhat there. And then religion, it's, North Carolina, 55.4% are religious, a little above the national average. And the highest one out of everything are the Baptists, of course. Baptists are, as we know, the Catholics of the South. So that's a fact. Also, a lot of Methodists here. A lot of Methodists, 0.2% Jewish. And in the last election, 56.2% of the people in Forsyth County voted Democratic, and 42.3% voted Republican, and 1.6% Independent. Median household income here is $76,250 a year.
That's fantastic.
That's not bad. Yeah, it's above the national average, so it's doing well out here in the suburbs because the cost of living is lower too. 100 is the average. Here it is 84. Out of 100. Median home cost here, though, still pretty high, $340,900 for a median home cost, which that's still pretty high to be kind of out in the middle of nowhere a little bit. I guess it's not the middle of nowhere, though. Winston-Salem's right there.
It's just expensive.
Absolutely. So maybe we've convinced you that you're going to come there and you're going to get Andrea Bocelli to come sing for you. Well, in case that's your plan, we have for you the Clemmons, North Carolina Real Estate Report. The average two-bedroom rental here goes for $1,010.
Not bad.
So that's below the national average. First house here, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's pretty much a 1960s ranch-style brick house. I mean, it's your basic family, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. By the way, North Carolina, they don't put their square footage on real estate listings for some reason.
It's the most bizarre thing.
And I have no idea why, and it drives me bananas every time. So, but this looks like a, 1,500 square foot house-ish, somewhere in that ballpark. So it's fine. Nothing special. Nothing, stands out as bad or great about it. Okay. $259,000 for that.
Yikes.
So that's your, kind of your family house. Yeah, it's not cheap. Here is a 5-bedroom, 6-bath T-bowl for each and every B-hole on 1.16 acres.
Fuck yeah.
It's nice. Got some room. It's a big brick house with a nice deck and a pool. And inside, they've just made everything white. All the walls. There's not a color in this house. It is just blindingly white. Yeah, it's
Come add your life.
A lot. Yeah, you could definitely put some color in here and it would help. But it's a really nice house. It's not bad. It's a sweet-looking house. $850,000 for that thing, though.
Boy, oh boy.
Little pricey. I think that's going to be probably about a 4,000 square foot house, something like that.
Fucking better be.
It's a big giant brick house. I mean, it's not bad. The next house is a really big house. It is 5 bedrooms, 6 bath, but bigger.
Okay.
Bigger. It's kind of hideous here. Let's just say that. And also the room. We just assume, and we did this for the virtual live show, and poor Emma Kate is what we have to say.
Oh,
in this listing, in the kids' room on the wall, it said Emma Kate, and for some reason, we all just decided that Emma Kate had passed on. As a joke, Emma Kate's fine, and so everybody was just, R.I.P. Emma Kate all over the place. So. Emma Kate, if she's still alive, we really, really hope good things for poor Emma Kate here.
It's written on the wall above the crib, right?
Yeah, they have it in cursive letters on the put up there. This was Emma Kate. Things to do here. There is a Lego contest.
Oh.
Okay. This is wild. Betty White's involved in this. Okay, that should tell you something. You go, how the fuck does Betty White get involved in this? Well, just one day prior to Betty White's passing, the village of Clemmons announced the Betty White Loves Clemmons Lego contest. She apparently agreed to this on her deathbed. She's like, God, put my name on it. It's okay.
She's delirious.
Yeah.
Fucking Dilaudid or some shit.
She's like, it's okay, Blanche. Put my name on it. They're like, no one here is Blanche. That's not a real person. It's an actress named Rue McClanahan.
We're doing it.
I don't know what we're doing. Anybody named Blanche in town? In memory of her endless optimism and finding the positive, the contest will continue. Well, yeah, you can't. We couldn't build Legos without Betty White.
Me neither.
Legos are well-known timeless building block toy advertised for ages 4 to 99. That's why she was aged out. That was the problem.
Yeah.
That was it. They were like, Betty, you're pushing it. She would have turned 100, and no more Legos for her. Yeah. There's 5 age divisions: the 3 to 5, 6 to 8, 9 to 12, 13 to 18, and then the adult 19 and up. And they must be an original design, no kits or sets or anything like that.
You can build whatever you want.
You have to. Yeah, you have to be creative and build whatever you want. So there you go. That sounds fun. My son would love that shit. He'd be all over that.
I don't know how to build anything unless there's instructions, and even then,
that's so hard. Legos are so hard.
Dude, I've got a tiny one that's like little pieces for
they're horrible.
a little Denver Broncos figurine.
Yeah,
I've built the head and I gave up. I can't do it.
It's so hard.
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand.
My son, he'd be like, "Come on, sit with me, okay?" And then he'd start doing it, and he's like, "You're not going fast enough." I'm like, "I can't go. I don't know what you're doing. This is crazy.
I don't know where this piece goes."
You're glancing up at instructions and just putting things in place at the same time. It's insane.
Know how this works.
Man. Next up, there's the Summer Shindig. Oh, baby. Summer Shindig coming.
Is that where you get bugs out of your shins?
Yeah, it's the shindig where the chiggers are. That's the problem. You got to pick chiggers out of your skin. It's the summer chigger pick, everybody.
Chigger dig. Let's go.
You got to be careful when you say that one.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
That's a tough one. So
Can't be drinking.
No. You got to be stone cold sober, 2 p.m. for that bad boy.
Very responsible pronunciation of
wits
that
about you. It's the responsible pronunciation contest. How fast can you say chiggers without getting in trouble? How fast can you do it? Say that. The Village of Clemmons joined them as they host the first summer shindig to celebrate the kickoff of summer. Yeah, okay. It's a free concert and by a band called Hawthorne Curve.
Yeah.
And they'll be playing songs by Steve Miller, Smashing Pumpkins, the Beatles, the Eagles, and so much more.
Here's a band who will play everything from the 70s.
All the way up to Smashing Pumpkins, too.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, this is Smashing Pumpkins
90s.
And more. So what a weird, strange amalgamation they must be. And come hungry to support your favorite food trucks. Oh, boy. And enjoy a free night of fun presented by the Village of Clemmons and sponsored by AM Erectors. The Erectors really want you to have a night of fun, everybody.
Yeah.
Be erect and have a good time here.
Jesus Christ. We're going to erect all of you.
We're going to erect the whole town. Everybody's getting pregnant tonight. So crime rate in this town, what we're interested in here, and we'll be able to talk about those other people and their too much crime, not enough crime. Well, we'll find out. Property crime is a bit above the national average.
Oh, great.
So very safe, my ass. And then violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and, of course, assault, slightly below the national average. So
that's good.
Terrified of the crime, my ass. Everybody's wrong. Why do you review things at all? That's the problem, because you're always wrong.
Crime. Yeah,
There's certainly
nobody's
crime.
getting too bad hurt, I guess.
I guess so. Speaking of that, if you're listening to this show, 5 stars. Make sure to rate and review on there.
Yeah,
we want your opinion, obviously, just not stupid people's. So that said, let's talk about some murder because, woo-wee, is this a mouthful of murder here? This is. We have one of the strangest people we've ever encountered. Ever in this episode.
It's very gross.
Yeah, let's talk about a guy named John Alexander Lawson. All right, John Alexander Lawson. That sounds like an attorney from the 1800s, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like he founded the town of Lawson. John Alexander Lawson. He platted it, and he's like the Clemmons guy.
You guys got law in his name, for Christ's sake.
Right there. First syllable of the last name. He's born December 8th, 1978 in San Francisco. And, the family, though, moves to North Carolina when he's around 2 years old.
Shit.
And his parents are going to separate when he's about 8 years old, that sort of thing. His mother said that the marriage ended between his parents because his father, her ex-husband at the time, had a problem with drugs and alcohol and was in and out of jail. And... Which is fun.
General scumbag. Yeah.
General scumbag, and also, once they did get divorced, never paid any support at all to them.
Attaboy.
So he's doing just a great father here. Terrific.
What she did was divorce him, and then he justified everything.
Yeah. That's it. That's amazing, too, when it's like, you're a deadbeat, I'm going to divorce you, and then you get divorced, and then they don't pay support, too, and it's like, because he's a deadbeat. That's why. Yeah. The fucking problem.
Everything that I assumed was accurate.
It's all true. It's all true. Thank you for fulfilling every fantasy I had of your dipshittedness. So he would later on say that he never met his father, which is crazy because, there's
he moved
pictures
across the country with the man.
There's pictures of them together. I have pictures of them together. So it's not like I had to didn't get like the CIA to follow him around with a fucking drone. There's just pictures from Christmas of him and his dad when he's a kid. You met your dad, definitely.
It's so hard to disagree.
Yeah, his dad's holding him. He's hugging him. Never met him before. Never met the man. Really. This guy, a lot of what he does is posturing. That's the thing. He's a big posture guy. Everything
has to create an idea of him.
He creates a whole identity of who he is. It's
that's
crazy
awesome.
Insanity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, this is a guy. This isn't a normal episode at all. This is a crazy person. So he said that he has an older half-sister who he's never met as well. And so he tells everybody that he was just raised by his mother and her relatives.
Older. So dad had somebody else pregnant before him.
Apparently, yeah. Okay. Apparently there was another pregnancy. His parents, I guess, officially divorce in 1990. His mom's name is Cynthia, and she'll come up quite a bit over the course of the episode. His dad, Timothy, doesn't really play into shit. Okay. Deadbeat. Who knows what he's doing.
So he was 10 or 12 when this happened, though.
I guess they split up when he was 8, and then they finally got divorced when he was 12, because, sometimes people just don't get divorced.
Right.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. Yeah. But why don't you focus also, you look at green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well. Right. And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So he grows up with his mother here. And in Clemmons, North Carolina, that's where they grow up together. He lives with his mother, Cynthia, and he is known as a small child as a happy, athletic child who really enjoys football and baseball. He plays on teams and he does little league and
boy.
Just your regular old kid here, just your standard brand middle of the road kid here.
He has a shirt that says "Little Slugger" or some shit.
Little Slugger, and I'm sure him and his mom go out for ice cream after the game, and stopping at Dairy Queen. Even if you know what, even if you lost, we're stopping at Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
It's not just a win.
Gets that upside down baseball helmet.
Yep.
That's
the little fucking helmet.
Man.
Someday they have the team he wants and everything, and he's like, God damn it, this is great. Life is good, everybody. Yeah. But when he gets into his early teen years, he starts to be a little bit different. The family moved. I guess at one point they moved to Florida, and then they moved back to North Carolina.
Okay.
And his mother remarries at this point.
Oh.
Cynthia gets remarried. Now, at this point, this is when everything starts to change. He goes from happy-go-lucky, going to I'll be riding my bike home from the Little League field, Ma, that sort of thing, to a different kind of cat where he gets more. And this is just teenagers, too. A lot of times as a teenager, you totally change. And he went real goth with the whole shit.
Okay.
But not like regular goth, like normal people do. He went well far and beyond the means of normalcy here.
How do you mean?
Oh, he changed his name, number one.
Yeah, that's different.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Instead of John Alexander Lawson, he said, "Everyone, I'd like you to call me Pazuzu Algarad." So there's that.
That's the first and last? That's it right there?
That's the first and last there. Pazuzu Algarad, which is a hell of a handle. I'll say that. It seems like
easy.
It's just two bad Scrabble hands, it looks like, is what you got. Like, oh, shit, Pazuzu? What the fuck am I going to make out of this?
Is he writing
Zap,
that on
I got,
schoolwork? Or is he...
No. It's just what he wants people to call him that and all that kind of shit. He went from John to Pazuzu.
That's tough, yeah.
It's a tough one. So he's an interesting guy here, and he had like blonde hair, blue eyes. I mean, he looked like one of the Bad News Bears. He really did. He looked like this little the little one, the little one. Yeah, Tanner. He looks like
the one that talks about booger
wants to
morons.
fight everybody. Yeah. So then he started dressing more gothic. He shaved his head because you can't be like super goth with like blonde curly hair. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, you either got to dye that a green or let that naturally turn to a gross color, or
if you have blonde hair.
Black is a good one. Yeah,
it's like, listen, Baywatch, we're not buying you all. Just not buying it. I'm sorry.
Take
blonde
it easy.
People
Hanson.
look happy. Blonde people look happy.
They do. Yeah,
they look like I hit a weird genetic lottery where I'm super weird and everything's blonde, and isn't that strange?
Yeah.
I'm happy.
My body
with that.
hair doesn't even show up.
Yeah, and the rest of us are all like, look at these fucking idiots
look at
with
this
their
motherfucker.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So at that point, people said he started hanging out with the wrong crowd as well. Started running with the wrong type of people. So his mom, this is good. This is a start. A lot of times we tell these stories and the parents don't pay attention at all. And they're just like, I don't know. And the kid's like taking apart woodland animals in the fucking, in his room, not even like in a shed, not practicing taxidermy or anything. He's just like, I want to see what's inside her. And the parents these parents actually have concern, or his mother does anyway. Obviously, dad doesn't care, but his mother took him to a psychiatrist.
Oh.
Said, what the hell's wrong with you here? Huh. And this is the 90s. I mean, kids dressed weird in the 90s. We all did.
Yeah, but the thing about the 90s, too, with mental health, it wasn't taken near as serious as today.
No,
and
God, no.
And everybody was just, I guess, considered they're a head doctor. They know what they're doing. They're all the same. There's not a different one.
Yeah, and totally, and
so
especially
you just go to one and then you just keep going. You're not fixed. You just need to go more.
It also depends on where you're from, and because if there's affluent neighborhoods where parents all take their kids to psychiatrists back then, but then the only kids that I knew that went to psychiatrists were sentenced to do so. You know what I mean? Like literally, they did something.
The judge said so.
Yeah. Juvenile court made them go to it. Like it was some sort of evaluation, but they weren't no one was taking them to a place every week to talk about their problems.
Try to fix it. Yeah.
Fuck no. Parents had their own problems, so she took him to a psychiatrist. And his medical records at this point show that he indicated, even at that time, signs of severe agoraphobia.
Oh.
So, if you don't know that doesn't want to go out. He's scared of it. A general fear of situations or places where one may feel they have no control because everything's moving too fast and it's too much. So they also noted that he had schizophrenia at the time.
Oh.
That's quite a diagnosis. It's a big one.
They already figured that out.
Yeah, as a teenager, and it's going to get worse. And other mental illnesses since childhood. So she tried to find him as much treatment for this as she could, but she didn't have a lot of money, and Dad's not paying any support. It's kind of, you can only really do what you can if you're a single parent, you don't have a ton of money, and it's tough.
And you got an agoraphobic, schizophrenic teenager who you need to get into public. You need to get him in school so that you can go to work.
And that's the problem here. By 14, when he's in the ninth grade, he leaves school at that point. He quits because he said that's when the phobia around people started.
Oh.
That's when he started getting weird. This is all right around the time his mother remarried. As soon as his mom remarried, he went real wackadoodle here, and I don't understand.
It's also right about the time when boys hit that thing called puberty.
Well, yeah, that all
start turning
plays into it.
Something that you don't understand.
It all plays into it. Yeah, your body is changing. You have weird hormones. Raging. You're a fucking disaster. Just a cauldron of mess.
Oh, boy.
He is known as a poor student. A lot of Fs.
Sure.
He was in special education classes because of learning problems as well. So there's a lot of issues here. He had to repeat the second grade.
Yeah.
He also, they wanted him to repeat the ninth grade.
Oh.
And that's when I think he left because he didn't pass anything in ninth grade.
Plus, he's already repeated one. He's already behind.
He's going to repeat 16 now.
You keep repeating. You're going to be 35 graduating.
Yeah. You're going to be, who needs a ride to school, kids? Come on. Climb in the station wagon.
Let's go to 8th grade.
I'll take my kids, and I'll take all the other kids from the neighborhood. We'll all go to 9th grade.
We'll all
go
go
together.
to 8th grade together.
By the way, later he'll deny ever failing a grade, even though he definitely failed 2 grades.
What the fuck, man?
He would get in trouble for skipping classes, but he also had problems with being verbally disrespectful to teachers, getting in fights, and engaging in vandalism.
Okay.
He was suspended once, and there's that. So he only got suspended once.
For vandalism or something?
For some dipshittery? Yeah, general fuckery, I think. So by 1998, when he's 20, a few years down the road here, his mom will move out of the house, and she'll get remarried again, move out, and leave him in the house.
Oh.
Leave him to his own devices in the house, and we'll talk about that. But talk a little bit about his school life here. There's a docuseries called The Devil You Know about him, okay? So apparently because of his class, he had a nickname in high school.
Oh, boy.
And a lot of people have nicknames in school, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tons of people have nicknames. Sometimes they're insulting mildly.
They're generally just not clever.
No.
There's from time to time there's a clever one.
Sometimes.
For the most part, they all suck and they all hurt.
And sometimes they're not even derogatory, but they sound terrible. I had a friend in high school, one of my best friends in high school, and everybody called him Shits.
Yeah.
And he was from the word shitbags, which because in 7th grade, he used to bring a bagged lunch, and everybody would throw their garbage in his bag, and he would throw it all out at our lunch table.
Because it
was his bag of shit.
Enterprising, good kid that
he was just nice.
Collected everything for everybody. We call him shits.
Let me put it in your shit bag because that's what it. And then after the course of a whole year, it became shit bags. And then by the time we were in 10th grade, even girls called him Shits. Hey, Shits, and you're like, you're not. That girl's not blowing you. She's not like I really want to suck Shits' dick. It's messed up. It hurt him, and it was never a derogatory thing, but that's what he called him.
Just a nice kid who picked.
Yeah, great guy.
Conveniently picked up. I'm going to the trash can. Anybody got anything?
Yeah, I mean, he was a great dude. Just a real nice guy, quiet. Real good guy. Do anything, give you the shirt off his back. Shits. Hey, Shits.
I hope he got a hemp anklet and picked up trash on the beach and just got so much pussy in his early 20s.
It was to the point where people did not know his real name. I'm talking. Half the people in school didn't know his name. No one knew his name. They just knew him as Shits, but everyone knew him as Shits. Like he was a popular kid too. Shits. Everyone knew him. It was weird as hell. He had a different nickname though, Pazuzu here.
Yeah.
He is going to be known by everyone as Turd Boy.
That's not a good one.
Which is not as cool as Shits. Shits can be kind of cool.
It's basically Shits.
Well, this was because he had a tendency to, quote, smell like feces. So
God, what?
He's called Shits because he smells like shit. He's called Turd Boy because he smells like shit.
Yeah, but generally, if you smell like shit, it's shit.
Because there's shit places? Yeah. The only thing that smells like shit is shit.
Yes, I've never smelled shit.
Have you?
Smelled shit and been like, there's not shit around here. I know it, but it smells like shit. No, there's shit around here close by.
Everybody just play a bunch of full court basketball and you go, you smell like shit. No, you don't smell like shit. You smell like other things.
You smell like sweat and BO.
You only smell like shit if you have shit in your pants. That's when you smell like shit.
It's a lot of BO, but I'm telling you that because I need you to rinse.
Please, for the love of God here. Holy shit. So one of his former teachers had a recollection of him and said, quote, I can even remember his seat within the classroom. He did not give me any trouble. He was usually absent. Well, yeah, if he skipped your class, it's not real hard to have him around.
His seat really well.
It's real. I remember that empty seat sitting there staring at me.
Always empty.
When I asked, where is John, other students would say, oh, you mean Diablo? Because they called him Diablo.
Devil. Nice.
Maybe that's his middle name. Maybe it's Pazuzu Diablo Algarad. Maybe that's a family name.
Or it's a hyphenated ending.
Yeah. Great Grandpa Diablo he's named after. You know that.
Algarad's his mom's maiden name.
Yeah. That was the name he was using at the time. And so, yeah, he drops out of school and starts supporting himself by selling drugs to the kids. So that's nice. That's a good one here. He's arrested for the first time when he's 23 for drunk driving. Okay. And at some point in here, too, he's also arrested and convicted for assault on a female. That's the charge. So, he's really doing well here. Tell you what, he's staying in his mom's house as well. Like we said, his mom moved out and left him the house. And he doesn't exactly go, finally, I get to lay down my design elements I've been always thinking of. He just lets the place be completely trashed.
Just in immediate disarray.
Like squatters are nicer to houses than he is to his own fucking house.
Disrespecting mom's house.
The guy who broke in and did an enema in my fucking house that was for sale years ago honestly treated the house with way more respect than he treats his own fucking house. Because at least he shit in the toilet. As we'll talk about, not everybody does that here. There's just shit all over the place. So he legally changes his name to Pazuzu Algarad in 2002.
He's got money to be changing his name.
Oh, yeah. You'll find money to change. When you need to be Pazuzu, you'll find a way to make it happen. Right. That's the thing. Yeah. How many times have you needed to be Pazuzu? That's the thing. You don't ever need to be.
Interesting
so what do you know?
Choice, though.
What do we know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pazuzu, by the way, is the name of the Assyrian demon whose name was used in The Exorcist, if you're wondering, where he pulled Pazuzu out of his ass. Yeah, it wasn't just a bad Scrabble block. It was actually something.
Lots and lots of books. He saw the Exorcist.
He saw The Exorcist, and Algarad is similar, not exact, similar to the Arabic word for locust.
Yeah.
So I think it's funny that like some person who speaks Arabic's like, that's not probably going to say, that's not even fucking close to that.
It's not even the word.
It's like people with Asian character, Chinese character tattoos, and they're like, dude, that doesn't say what you think it does. I feel like it's the same thing.
Somebody's fucking with you.
What he liked to do was, after 9/11, after September 11th, he liked to freak out the squares a bit by putting on what he called a jihadi mask, which would be like a black thing that he pulled down, and run around in it in Clemmons to freak people out. So they would think that
wandering around, just going to get milk in a jihadist mask.
Which he's lucky he didn't get shot doing that in a small town. I got one. They just pull you by the fucking ankle. I got one. Killed him.
A man in Arizona killed a Sikh because he was so stupid. He didn't know.
No idea that was.
Had no fucking clue because he's a moron.
Didn't have any idea that this guy is a completely different person. So some believed that Cynthia was helping him through this, but like with this stuff, like somehow assisting him and being weird. But then I think that's just rumors around town here. People would come over, all of his friends, and they'd just scrawl satanic symbols on the wall and everything else. They just write whatever they want on the wall and big pentagrams, and they'd, piss and shit wherever they want.
Yeah.
Just anywhere, just in the corner. That's the shit corner.
If you are decorating with Krylon, what's the difference?
Dude, the pictures of this house, like somebody on Hoarders would be embarrassed of this fucking house. I swear to God, it looks like a bunch of people that just smoked crack and squatted there for like 6 months and just destroyed it as much as they were like, let's really fuck this house up. Like they really made a conscious effort to do it. There's animal corpses laying around.
What?
Just a squirrel wandered in and died. A cat that they had a while ago is
good Lord.
dead over there. Like on Hoarders, they just pull
gross. Those smell,
out. Yeah, maybe that's where the shit smell's coming from. Plus, there's shit everywhere, Jimmy. There's shit
you may
all
want
over
to
the
shit
place.
to cover the smell of the dead raccoon.
Man, it's stinky in here. Somebody lay down some turd for cover, man.
Somebody carpet bomb. Drop down some cover fire.
Wow. And everybody just hang out and drink. He really became a heavy drinker about 13, because that's a good time for it, really, coming around, coming of age. By this time, he's got his face is covered in crazy tattoos. They're not even good tattoos. Like, there's not artwork or anything to this.
Early adopter of this.
Yeah, it looks like he took it and just like drew it in a mirror, like holding it like a 3-year-old holds a pencil. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So he's really getting weird. Oh, he gets his tongue forked at this point too.
Hell yeah.
Tongue forked, tats on the face, and gets his teeth sharpened. He gets his teeth, but he doesn't get his teeth sharpened. He sharpens his teeth with a file.
Dear God.
We'll find out.
Fucking shit, man.
He would also never leave the house because he's agoraphobic. So the house is just this terrible, horrible tomb of a shithole, and he never leaves it. So he must smell awful. He also performs, ritualistic killing of small animals such as rabbits, and drinks their blood as sacrifices to a god.
Oh, yeah.
A god that no one really understands. His mother described, they said, well, what do you think his god is? And she said, it's a dragon. So,
okay.
Yeah, he
very thirsty one.
Let's go through this here. Tattoos on the face, sharpening the teeth, forking the tongue. That's all fine. Hey, you want to have some fun with your appearance?
Sure.
That's good. Shit and animal corpses all over the house I could do without. Also, ritualistic killing of small animals to an obscure dragon god. That's what we have right now.
How do you get people to come over when that's what you're doing?
Because it's so funny, because that's where they're allowed to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
People are really disgusting if you let them be.
Something you'll put up with.
Yeah. It's really gross when you're allowed to be gross. Some people will just fall right into it. They don't care.
Wow.
His god, he believed his god to have appeared in Mesopotamian myths. And he also claims to be a part of that ethnic group as well.
Oh,
Mesopotamian.
Like one of the first ones.
Yeah, he's like fucking first man type of shit. Yeah, first wave of man is what he's saying.
But that's not a good thing. Your immune system, everything you have is mad weak, dude.
No,
you are inferior as fuck.
No, my DNA has lasted since the beginning of man. It's me. That's it. Oh, he also claims he can control the weather as well.
Oh, he's one of those.
Yeah, I'm gonna go shit in the corner and then keep the hurricane away. Imagine thinking that.
The act that he has to do has got to be crazy.
Hold on, I'm gonna shit on this rabbit corpse. Yeah, I'm gonna shit over here in Rabbit Corpse Corner, and then I'm gonna go out and make sure that a tornado hits a town I don't like.
Well, when I shit over here, I'm gonna call the winds of the west to blow it all east, and we'll all be free of the scent. It'll
be fine. His idol was Charles Manson, by the way. That's his idol.
Yeah.
He's like, man, that Manson, he had it right. He decided, while I have all these ideas and I'm doing all this, I'm going to make it a religion. Which, much like the Twin Flames people, maybe he just decided, shit, I could be tax exempt here.
I mean,
I
probably haven't filed taxes ever. It's probably a good idea to be exempt.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a religion that mixes like a devil worship, pretty much, with Islam. Just mix those two together. That's a weird fusion. That's a strange fusion. That's like Mexican food mixed with Finnish food. It's just a weird fusion that you don't see in a lot of restaurants.
Gravy over your enchiladas.
It's very strange here. I don't think the Germans make gravy, do they?
Yeah,
Gravy is joy, and they don't know much, so I'm not sure about that.
Well, their gravy
they do
is
make
not
bread
joy.
though. And they make fucking
sour,
pretzels.
Weird gravy.
Yeah, that's most of German food seems like a dare, though. Honestly, it seems like. What if you cook pickles? Huh? What about that?
What if you took potatoes and made balls out of them and jammed cabbage inside them?
Interesting. But then again, some of the stuff I've had isn't bad, though. It's I don't know.
Yeah.
It tastes okay.
Those potatoes aren't that bad.
Fuck no. It's a potato. It's hard to fuck up a potato.
When you eat it, you're like, why'd you fuck with this? You didn't have to do this.
These could have been next to each other as opposed to all intermingled.
German dumpling is a fascinating thing. I don't know.
It is.
It's a gross food. It's not a good food.
Yeah.
There's a reason there's not a fucking a bunch of them on every corner in this country.
No, not even close to that.
No.
So the two religions he chose, he figured would be the ones that would freak people out the most. It's the early 2000s. People are terrified of Islam and they're terrified of terrorist attacks. So he said, man, Islam, Satanism, that's the jam right there. That's the maximum impact for freak out value. Yeah. So he started collecting a group of people, his friends and people that would listen to him and do what he wants. More like
recruiting, right?
I mean, I guess. I don't know if you can, whatever. I don't know what the advantages are. People that show up and have nowhere else to go, and because it's mostly homeless people, severe drug addicts, people like this. He just recruits anyone who is willing to sit in a house full of shit and corpses. Then they'll listen to anything, I think, at that point. So
probably.
He said he called them his misfits and outcasts.
Yeah.
Yes. So he invited all the people to the house and allowed them to do anything they wanted. This house is total freedom. Okay. Anything you want, shit anywhere, fuck anywhere, shoot up in the corner, spit blood on the walls, I don't care. He draw on them.
Just do it witchy.
And the people who were into him thought he was cool because he's a real rebel. Nobody else looks and acts like him. He's unpredictable and he looks dangerous and,
filed his fucking teeth, James.
Look at that. I mean, he's got sharp teeth and a forked tongue. I don't have the balls to fork my tongue. What a nut.
I got the balls to fork my tongue before I file my own
That's
fucking
what they're saying.
teeth.
They're going, I'm not going to fork my tongue. I'll just follow this guy,
Oh, boy.
So, and word spread about him and this house, and more people came, which seems like word spread. So the Board of Health came and they knocked the house down. End of story. Thanks for joining us. Happy fucking holidays. Merry Christmas. But no, it's actually not like that. People would come by the day. More people would show up. He's building a Manson family.
To see the freak show, right?
Yeah, they loved it. He had sex with all the female followers. They had sex with this man. With Turd Boy, they had sex with.
Yeah.
I mean, the psychology is not hard to follow here. Doesn't fit in, created a place where he fits in. Yeah. Not only fits in, he sets the rules and the social standards and enforces them on his own, which is interesting. His followers would come in, they'd hang out, they'd shoot heroin, they'd drink booze, that sort of thing. It was a shooting gallery, his house. They would also cut themselves and cut each other and drink the blood and mix their blood together and drink animal blood. They loved blood stuff and also performing animal sacrifices as well, because you need to do that.
Bloodletting.
He covered his walls not only with tons of graffiti, but also smears of blood from the animal sacrifices. That was part of it. Yeah, you sacrifice something. Who knows that it's sacrifice unless you smear it on the wall.
A little,
there you go. So, and also smears of blood from the cuts that they would make on themselves as well. Yeah. And he put, satanic symbol posters and drawings, your basic shit at that point.
Yeah.
He said he bathed once a year. What people are having sex with a man who shits on the floor and bathes once a year.
Like
Think
January
about that.
1 or like June 12th? Like,
I was going to say, did you pick my birthday there? Thank you. He takes his bath on James's birthday just for me. He does it just for me. I say, thanks, Pazuzu, and then I blow him. That's how it works.
I take a Mario bath.
Yeah, I take a quick Mario bath here, which is just a bunch of cologne. So that's how it works. That's I'm sure down there how they would say it. So, this is wild that people are having sex with him. I don't want to hear that you can't find somebody. I don't want to fucking hear it.
Yeah,
this is before apps even. He had to go find people smelling like shit and have them coming over to the house and going, piss wherever you want over there by all the corpses and feces pile and all that shit. And he's getting sex. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear it.
Jesus.
Fork your tongue and try harder, people, because he's figuring it out. He also never brushed his teeth, he said, ever. Just that was stupid to brush my teeth. They're all sharp.
I filed them. They don't have enamel, so it doesn't matter if I brush them or not. They're going to fall out.
Who gives a shit? It's happening. He also would shit all over his house. Mm-hmm. He said that he never bathed because he had the power of Satan would cleanse him.
Okay.
Satan is it's like a Zest commercial with Satan. You're not fully clean unless you're Satan fully clean, I think is Satan's entire motto there.
Hellfire sterilizes everything.
It's all good. Yeah, it'll burn anything up that you got there, which is gross. And his followers would do the same. They would stop bathing. So with all the shit and corpses and blood and unbathed junkies, imagine what this place smells like. And when people would ask him, why does your house smell like this when they first got there? Wow, it smells in here. He said, well, that's because there's dead bodies in here.
Okay.
Yeah. He would claim to people that he killed people, and he would either burn their bodies or bury them in the backyard. That was what he said.
You got to believe that, right?
Most of the followers thought it was just him being...
Really?
You know, yeah.
Bravado? You think that's where you draw the line?
If I look around that house... And I look at him, and he says, I kill people and do this. I go, yeah, yes, you do, sir.
He does.
Face value.
Not one bit of this tells me he's telling me a lie.
If he was 14, I'd say he's probably lying to try to be a tough guy. He's in his 20s, and this is what he does.
He's in his 20s. This is what he does. He's filed his teeth. He's cut his tongue, and he's shat in the corner. I believe him.
Oh, my God. He would later tell everybody, even though it's not true, that he had never used illegal or recreational drugs, even though he did all the time.
Really?
He does say that he drank since he was 13. He was drinking real hard. He said typically, you know, as a teenager and growing into his early 20s, he would drink at least a 12-pack of beer a day. He said, it just calms me down.
A 12er.
A 12er will calm anybody down.
Yeah,
that would really, if you gave a 12er to an angered zoo animal, it would chill out a little bit. Like anything.
12 beers will probably make an elephant calm down.
Oh, right? Calm, a little chill. I would say noticeably calmer. If you gave 12 beers to a pissed off lion, it would probably be noticeably more chilled out. Right? I'm just going to, and that thing weighs hundreds of pounds.
Yeah. I can't.
He weighs like $130. Literally. He's like $120, $130, this guy.
I can't imagine there's a single, I mean, apart from anything in the ocean that's giant, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think 12 beers will fix anything, any land animal. At
least to the point of the very loose parameters of calms down. I think it'll calm it, chill it the fuck out a little bit. It's very loose. He said the main reason he always drinks every day is because when he doesn't, he gets the shakes, which just means he's an alcoholic pretty bad there.
That means you're sick, friend.
The DTs, mister. That's a problem. He said if he stops drinking, that's if he stops drinking for more than like a day. But he said he doesn't have any problems related to his alcohol use.
Except for those shakes.
Except for the shakes if I don't drink it.
Except for the part that you have to have it.
That's wild. So he meets a girl, of course, because obviously, let's bring a young lady into the situation. Mm-hmm. Amber Nicole Birch is her name. Burch, Birch.
Yeah.
Amber here, she graduated in 2008 from high school in South Carolina. At some point, she moved to Winston-Salem after she graduated and became romantically involved with him.
Why not?
Why not? Friends all said she changed and got really weird as soon as she got involved with him, which I don't know how you wouldn't. He's the type of guy you can't hang out with him. He's not going to change more to be like you. You either change to be like him or you stop hanging out with him. There's no other option here. So she also filed her teeth down as well and stopped showering, which women talk shit about each other's boyfriends all the time. Yeah. Imagine if you show up stinking like shit with your teeth filed down and be like, no, it's just what we do. You're getting a rash of shit from your girlfriends, I would think, for that, right?
Yeah. How did you convince a girl to...
Multiple girls, many.
But how did he convince a girl to file her fucking teeth?
I mean, Manson could have done that. They would have filed their teeth down.
I suppose, yeah.
No problem. So Birch's friend, Amber's friend, said she maybe saw Amber about 3 times after Amber left South Carolina. She said that Amber went through big changes. She had a couple of tattoos to begin with, so that wasn't a big deal. But then she started getting homemade tattoos.
Yeah, those stand out.
I'm sure in a very sterile environment in a house filled with shit and corpses.
And a very strategic place where it doesn't show up.
Yeah, and one of them is a swastika she gets as well.
Oh, perfect. I'm sure that's right
terrific.
on her fucking throat.
All class right there, all class. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover. Yeah. Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing. No. They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro-laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently wherever your problem areas are. Tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right. Let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going. Look good out there. And you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable. And you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad. Right. There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff, and I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options. Nice. It's very cool, and you can personalize this portion, and you can put filters on it. And get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
One day she showed up with sharpened teeth, and she said she used a fingernail file to sharpen the edges of her teeth.
A fucking emery board?
Yeah, she just a metal one. She just filed the fuck away.
God,
hers aren't as pointy as Pazuzu's. I don't know if he has to have the pointiest teeth.
Yeah.
He's like, listen, 30% off. That's it. I won't accept. Otherwise, it's my thing.
I've got to go get the centers filed, James, just for like space gap.
Yeah.
I'm terrified. And it's just like a little bit of sandpaper. It's just a zzz on each tooth, though. And
she's just sitting there in a living room.
Oh, God damn it.
That's easier when you're shit-faced and a junkie, I think, too. She
point.
also shaved off her eyebrows at this point, too.
May as well. It's what's more shocking?
Her friend said she's had a couple of boyfriends in the past. Her friend said nothing super serious. She liked horses and playing the bass in the string orchestra. That's what Amber was into. Holy shit, she changed a lot.
Jesus in America, too.
This is definitely Tom Petty. So her friend said, as far as I know, Pazuzu was her only serious boyfriend. I never met him. She invited me to go up there several times. On the phone, I could hear him in the background, and he was pretty vulgar.
In the background, he would...
Well, on one call, she heard Pazuzu arguing with Amber, then asking Amber who she was talking to on the phone. Amber said, it's my friend from Rock Hill. And Pazuzu said, invite her over so I can have sex with her. Which, try that in the background, guys out there. Who's that? Kathy? Yeah, tell Kathy to come over so I can stick it in her fat ass, all right? Yeah, tell her to come on by. What are you talking about?
Come over and tongue my balls while you blow me.
Wow. When your girlfriend gets done stabbing you, her friend will be there to join in. You're going to be fucked. So he said, she said that was a little freaky. But she invited her friend to visit several times, but she didn't want to go because of him.
He wanted to have sex with her.
I think she knew that was the plan. Mm-hmm. The friend said he would never come to Rock Hill when she came to Rock Hill. So when she'd come home to visit, he'd stay home because he's agoraphobic. After seeing her talk to him, I could tell she was starting to change. Gee, you think? She's got a fucking swastika tattoo and filed down teeth. What were the signs? What were the signs?
She's got no fucking eyebrows. On sight,
and
she
no
looks
eyebrows.
Different.
Yeah. Her friend also said that Amber was talking about that Pazuzu was Iraqi, which because he's Mesopotamian, he put that into I'm Iraqi because we're going to go have a war with Iraq, and he wanted to be weird. And that he was teaching Amber some Arabic because chicks named Amber usually speak Arabic.
Yeah.
Hey, if there's a fucking list of names least likely to speak any Arabic, I think Amber's at the fucking top, isn't it? Right?
Johnny Alexander. What was his last name?
Lawson.
Yeah, big Arabic guy. Yeah.
Big Arabic here. The friend said she would tell me random Arabic words. I was making a sandwich and she told me the Arabic word for garlic. Well, aren't you fucking worldly? Look at that.
I think it's just garlic.
Probably garlic. She said it's what she did like garlic. Yeah. She's like, that's how you say it. Garlic. And she was like, oh, okay. That's Arabic. This is different words with a ha in the beginning of it. It's not a car, it's a har. It's the same thing. Yeah. I speak Arabic now.
Yeah. You drive nails with a hammer.
Hammer. That is insane. She says
they did.
Yeah. She says one of their dogs has an Arabic name. She told me he was Iraqi, and I have no reason to believe he wasn't. Well, I do, because he's a blonde kid from San Francisco named Johnny. That's how I know he's not Iraqi.
The dog's name was Haley.
Yeah, Haley. Name the dog Grover.
Barkley.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Scruffy. Oh, my
Too
God.
fun.
Scooby-Doo. So she just has to say it in an offensive accent or something.
Yeah.
That's it.
As a guy that English isn't his first language, that's all you do. It's just
that's it. Just sound like that. Wherever you go, get shawarma. Just sound like that guy.
Just sound like an immigrant who's trying his best.
Yeah.
Sound like that.
Sound like that.
That's Arabic.
Her friend also said that her and Birch used to go to Bible study together when they were in high school, but she knew that Amber's beliefs had changed since she's been hanging out with Pazuzu. But she said she always thought it was something like Wicca. Like it was something like that, like harmless, like Wicca type shit. She didn't realize it was like smearing blood on the walls type of religion. That's a different religion. Once blood's involved, it's just all different.
Yeah.
That's too much for me at that point. She said, her friend said she fell into his lifestyle and fell into his identity. She said that Amber would tell her that Pazuzu would shoot coke and heroin, but that Amber didn't do that. Holy shit. So obviously, because they're living in squalor, shooting drugs, filing their teeth down, and believing in weird shit and smearing blood on the walls, obviously Amber gets pregnant. Obviously. There's no way.
Stop it.
Of course. What do you think? They're using fucking condoms? Are you kidding me?
Oh, my God. This is like, oh, Jesus.
Nightmare. This is exactly the nightmare.
What the fuck?
Thankfully, she had a miscarriage. And I'm saying that in all fucking understanding that people might go, that's not, I don't fuck. No. Thankfully, she had a if that kid came out and somebody fucking drowned it in a bucket next to the fucking hospital bed, I'd say good, because this is a disaster. This is a fucking disaster.
You know, and not even just thankfully, obviously.
That's the other thing.
She doesn't have prenatals. She's not fucking taking care of herself. She's not sleeping right. Obviously, she had a miscarriage.
Amber told her that it was probably because of stress.
Yeah.
It's around this time, too, 2010-ish, because we're going to talk about him talking to a psychiatrist around here, and it's interesting. He said he practiced now a Sumerian religion. Everything he talks about sounds like when they're talking about what's wrong with Sigourney Weaver's building in Ghostbusters. Like, everything is...
It's Sumerian.
when they're looking in books and they're like Gozer and all that. Who the fuck knows what they're talking about? That's all what he sounds like. He's just seen Ghostbusters too many times. He also said this religion required the monthly sacrifice of a small animal.
Monthly?
It's the 5th. Our squirrel is due. We got to get in there. His Facebook page had a banner with the word Antichrist stretching across the page and other references to Satan, of course.
He's got a Facebook page.
Obviously. How else do you recruit people? You got to help. That's what you do. Her friend said about Amber, this is Amber's friend, she is not legally married. I thought the religion they practiced was Wicca, and that is what she told me. She would talk about praises to the goddess. I assumed it was Wicca. One time when I asked her what time she'd come over, she said she'd come over around 8:30 because the sun set at 8 and she had to do all of her praises to thank the goddess or spiritual being of some sort. She talked about the protection of the goddess. Okay. So about a year. Monthly sacrifice, sundown rituals of some sort of
thanking for
praise.
Like the night, or thanking for what this day was. All right, whatever.
I guess the plentiful bounty that the day has provided that we can now sacrifice over the night.
There's nothing to be thankful for. It sounds like.
Don't know what's going on. Not in this house. Her friend said, I really didn't encourage her one way or the other. I never really thought he was an outstanding guy. Okay. But after she said, I'm going to leave him, then Amber said, never mind, I'm not leaving him, and went back to him. Okay. Now, here's another friend, a friend of Amber's named Kayleen. She said that Amber and her were like sisters, but Amber began to distance herself from old friends when she started hanging out with Pazuzu. Her friend said she was a sweet, smart, caring girl. She was in the string orchestra in high school. I went to a few of her concerts, and she played so beautifully. She was always the one friend who would help you no matter what. She said one night she woke up in the middle of the night, this is the friend, with a lot of pain, and she said, Amber picked me up in the middle of the night and took me to the emergency room and got me taken care of. And her whole family are horse people. Money.
Yeah.
She said she would take me over to the stables and we would go riding and things like that. That's fucking money.
Yeah.
We would go to the mall, go to the bowling alley, normal 18-year-old activities. But then I guess this friend's brother died, this friend's daughter died. Holy shit. Jesus. In February 2009. Amber attended the funeral, but by then she was already being weird. She said, we all knew she went off the deep end when she went to Winston-Salem. When she made her Facebook page, we saw this person with sharpened teeth, Muslim attire. Then I saw the page and I thought, what was she thinking? He's not attractive. I think we're beyond physical attractiveness here.
Yeah.
This is... Jim Jones isn't hot. Why are those guys letting him fuck him in the ass in front of people? I don't understand it.
Way to be so shallow, dear.
Yeah, he's not attractive.
He's not even hot.
She said, where did he come from? You could tell he wasn't Islamic. Who is this person and how did he meet Amber? I don't think anyone knows. Mm-hmm. Here's what it's like. What's it like to hang with Pazuzu? let's say, Jimmie, me and you were like in town and we're like, let's go hang out at our bud Pazuzu's house. We're going to go blow a couple of joints there. And we're going to fucking have a couple of beers with him. And what's that like? Okay.
Oh,
here's Dave Adams. He a friend. He says, when I first met him, we mainly just hung out, chilled out, maybe did a little heroin every now and then. You know, the huge.
Every now and again.
Every now and again. You know, just like we do. Every now and again, we shoot up and not off. And, you know, it just happens. He said, you know, just a shit ton of drinking and cut ourselves and each other, you know.
And each
you
other.
know, and each other, you know.
You know.
We just did a little heroin from time to time and sliced each other's arms and rubbed our blood on the walls. That, you know, kid stuff.
Oh, boy.
He then said, maybe drank the blood of a bird or so.
Oh, boy.
I just picture him popping the head off and drinking it like it's a fucking, like it's a Capri Sun and sucking it till it's flat.
Holy. Do you tap it on the table afterwards?
I think so. Make sure it's out. He said, you know, maybe drink the blood of a bird or so. You know, just all around having a good time.
What?
So, drinking a little heroin, shit ton of drinking, cutting yourselves, and drinking the blood of a bird is a good time. You know.
God damn it.
People would come to Pazuzu's house because they knew it was free reign. There were no rules, no anything you had to abide by. You could piss on his carpet. You could smash a TV. You could hit somebody in the head with a beer bottle. You could throw a knife at his wall. It didn't matter.
You know,
just drink the drink the blood of a bird. He said, you knock on the door and immediately you hear a shit ton of dogs barking. And then Pazuzu answers the door. You're greeted with the smell of just ammonia. It just smells like straight urine and like rotting matter, you know? Greets you as soon as the doors open. He was crazy looking enough, you know, with the long ratty-ass dreadlocks and all of his teeth filed down to a point, which later came to find out he did high as hell on meth.
Oh, is
you
that
have
right?
to be. You have to be high on meth to do that to yourself.
Later, come to find out, how do you not see it and go, oh, that guy did that on drugs?
You go, holy shit, what did you shoot, a fucking gram of meth and do that to yourself? What the fuck is wrong with you? What happened?
How did this guy have the door open and like smile and be like, finally, I've found my people?
This is it. This is the
What's wrong
place.
with Dave?
I guess if you're into shooting heroin and cutting yourself and drinking the blood of birds, then yeah, I guess so. He said people would get so drunk that human beings would just pop a squat in the corner and take a crap, and God knows when it would get cleaned up or the dogs would eat it or whatever.
Oh, Jesus, God,
that's
man.
horrifying. Hope you're all eating leftovers from the holiday here. You walked into his kitchen, and it was like any other kitchen until he opened up his dishwasher. When he opened up his dishwasher, it was filled with serious weapons. It wasn't like
everything.
Yeah, it wasn't like every other kitchen, by the way. It was filthy with shit stacked from on top of the counters to the ceiling. It was the most disgusting.
Gun safe is the whirlpool.
Gun safe is this dishwasher. Yeah. So here's August of 2009, all right? A Lieutenant Foster with the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office met with Alan Billings, a woman named Billings here, and her mother. Concerning some information about a homicide that may have occurred that they got word about at the Pazuzu residence here.
At the Algarad residence.
Yeah, this is about this. They're talking about a guy named Alan Billings is the rumor. And this is Ms. Charina Billings. This is Alan Billings' daughter. She tells the police here that Mr. Alan Billings, her father, had been at the Pazuzu residence about 2 weeks earlier, July 19th, 2009, to socialize with an occupant of the residence, which would be Pazuzu.
Okay, so Alan's daughter is older?
An adult, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, an adult. She goes to police, and she goes there, and she said that she tells the cop that when Alan returned home, he told her he had observed a dead body in the basement of the house. So this Ms. Billings tells the cops that Alan Billings told her the body was covered with a plastic tarp and had cat litter and chlorine around it to alleviate the odor, which I don't know how you'd even smell it over everything else.
Right.
So she also told this lieutenant that Alan Billings told her that a resident, Pazuzu, told Alan Billings that he had shot the individual 10 times because the man was a snitch.
Okay.
So Ms. Billings tells the lieutenant that Alan told her that Pazuzu then dismembered the body and that Alan Billings helped bury the dismembered body parts throughout the backyard of the residence.
Alan told his daughter
this? I had a weird day. How's your day, Dad? Whew, I'll tell you. Strange day.
Went and hung out with this shark-toothed fella.
That's
and
weird.
Did the devil's work with it.
He did a little of that, some of that bullshit. I don't know what the hell he was even talking about. I don't know, something about Allah and some shit.
Alan's a 50-something-year-old man?
Something like that. I mean, who cares? It doesn't matter. Somewhere.
It's just fascinating that the man that's this age has an adult daughter and is still associating with this shit.
Everybody here is an adult that shouldn't want to hang out here.
Shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah. Unless you're like 16 and your like parents fucking molest you and you have nowhere else to go, and then you should go in there to shoot heroin. That's the only excuse you have to be here. Otherwise, the fuck are you doing here? If you have a house of your own, you're a scumbag here.
Why are you here? Yeah.
Why are you here? So she said that Alan had told her that the dead guy was a white male, maybe in his 20s, but didn't have a name.
Didn't catch it.
Yeah. Also, she said that her dad had told her not to go to the residence, and because he said that if I get caught, I'm looking at life in prison for helping him. Mm-hmm. She also told the lieutenant here that her dad told her that she could still smell not that her dad told her, but that she could still smell the distinct odor of the body once he was home. So she could smell it on him.
It's in his clothes.
Death will stick to you.
Oh, boy.
Death will stick. I get like homicide detectives, the same suits they wear to work, they don't wear to fucking dinner on Saturday night with their wife. You know what I mean? No, fuck no. It stinks like body.
Yeah, not wearing that to church.
No, they provided a date of July 17th, 2009, and said that's when Alan said this occurred. So she also said that when she tried to talk with her father further about it, he wouldn't talk more about it. So on August 3rd, 2009, the lieutenant is over at the Billings residence to talk to Alan about this. Yeah. I'd like to have a chat with you. Your daughter says this and that.
I told him not to say.
Alan said, I don't know what you're talking about. I've been there on several different occasions, but I never saw a dead body or helped with a burial. Okay, well, why would your daughter make that up?
Yeah.
He does say that Pazuzu told him on July 19th that Pazuzu had shot and killed a, quote, fat motherfucker, as he put it, about 3 days before that with an assault rifle.
Yeah.
And Pazuzu told him that he'd shot him 10 times. So that's lining up. Okay. He's just saying, I didn't help out with anything and I didn't see any corpse.
Well, that seems self-serving.
Alan also says that he didn't question Pazuzu about the murder and told Pazuzu that he didn't want to know anything about it. Yeah. Know anything, I don't want to know him. Then he said that the following day, Pazuzu called him and told him that Pazuzu had chopped up the body and buried it. Hey, just want to let you know, that body we were talking about, got it all taken care of. Chopped it up, buried it, so everything's cool over here.
Okay.
So that's that. So he then, on August 4th, the lieutenant goes to, Casa Pazuzu over here, trying to establish contact with Pazuzu. So he arrives, he made contact with Pazuzu, like we say, he opens the door, and the waft hits you in the face.
Hits him, he gets it in the throat.
He tells Pazuzu that I have some information from several people that you shot and killed someone in your basement and buried the body in the backyard. He said, absolutely not.
I could never.
Could never. The lieutenant says he observed an in-ground swimming pool as well as a cat at the residence, so it's possible that chlorine and cat litter are stored at the residence without it being nefarious.
Okay. And the pool's clean, huh?
No.
Right.
No. If they shit in the corner, then no one's out there. Get the leaves out. Seriously, the filter's going to get clogged.
No one's saying green, man.
No one's saying that. So on September 24th, 2009, the police department received an anonymous Crime Stoppers tip that contained information about a subject by the name of Pazuzu. Must be a different guy, right? It can't be. Sure, there's a lot of Azuzus around here.
Algarad is a few houses down.
Yeah, he's down there. You don't know. That's my cousin.
I'm Algarad.
Yeah. The report said that Pazuzu had shot a subject and buried him in the backyard.
Yeah.
said the guy is missing for about a month and described the victim as a big and tall guy. Fat motherfucker, quote unquote.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. Now we go to February 9th, 2010. The Winston-Salem police, their cold case homicide unit, receives 2 anonymous emails concerning Pazuzu.
Oh.
This is a nightmare. The information contained in the email said that Pazuzu and his girlfriend, Amber, by the way, her nickname to all the friends is Bubbles. That's what everyone calls her. Old Bubbles Birch. Old Bubbles Birch there.
Oh, fuck.
Which sounds like an old cowboy sidekick in a Western from the 30s. That's Bubbles Birch.
It's just so goddamn dumb.
My God. They said that the tip said that they picked up a homeless person from a gas station and shot him in the head. And they said he's buried under the backyard under a tarp, and described Pazuzu as a religious extremist with mental disorders such as schizophrenia and agoraphobia. They got that down pretty well.
Nailed it, yeah.
2010 also, he gets in trouble because his mom, who, by the way, moves back into the house amongst this squalor and just lives in it. So for a long time, I was like, she might be normal and bad circumstances. Nope. If you'll live amongst this, that's just, I'm sorry. If you can accept this as a state of being and a condition of living,
impossible.
You can't. It's fucking disgusting. Well, she tells police that he choked her.
Oh.
She told police that she was afraid of him, but didn't want to press charges. She didn't want to fuck his life up. Obviously, he's got enough problems. Yeah. So Pazuzu at this point is receiving disability payments because of problems being nervous and paranoid while outside of the house. Was he going to get a job in the HR department in a fucking insurance company? Look at this guy.
He can't even bag groceries at Trader Joe's.
No, he's fucking sharpened teeth and Nazi and fucking swastikas on his face. You can't have that. So he did work briefly in landscaping, but that's it. That didn't work out. His mother's the payee for his disability check because of his problem with phobias. She can go to the bank and all that. So here's another, back to the investigation here. This is February 9th, 2010. A Ms. Stacy Carter was contacted by a friend named Allison Stitzer, who told Stacy Carter that she said, I'm at a concert in Asheville, and while I was there, I learned that your ex-fiance, Josh Wetzler, had been murdered and buried in Pazuzu's backyard.
Oh.
Yeah, so this woman's like, my friend told me she heard this at a concert.
What? Why?
At a concert, this comes up.
Watching Blues Traveler. Did you hear about that murder?
Man, it's good. That opening band really sucked. Can't wait for that cover band. They're at the summer shindig. Man, I heard they're playing Beatles and Smashing Pumpkins. I can't wait. By the way, y'all hear that your ex-fiance got shot and dismembered in a Satanist's backyard? Because that's what happened.
I did hear that.
Yeah, that's right. So they said that this whole thing here, this person told the sergeant that she called Pazuzu when she hadn't seen or heard from Joshua, because she knew that Pazuzu was acquainted with Joshua. So she said that she asked Pazuzu if he had seen or heard from Joshua lately, and Pazuzu told her, quote, not to worry about Fat Josh anymore, and then changed the subject.
What?
That's not a good sign.
No.
That's a bad sign. Jesus. So February 15th, 2009, this woman contacted the Davie County Sheriff's Department and reported Josh Wetzler missing after that. So she also told the county sheriff's office that Josh was last seen in mid-June at her residence in Davie County, and said that Josh had been on a downward spiral with depression and drugs, and that he's also on probation.
Oh.
So, like, if he's on probation, the cops are like, that's cool because we can find him, and if he's in a situation he's not supposed to be, at least we can pick him up. Whereas,
he's got to be documented wherever he is.
Exactly. She also stated that Josh had recently lost custody of their child because of no electricity or running water at his residence.
Josh.
She said that Josh had no job or money and that he had a history of disappearing for periods at a time. And she said that when she hadn't heard from Josh after several months, she thought he was on the run from probation. But after no one from their family had heard from him after the holidays, they started to grow concerned. Mm-hmm. So she said that she and Joshua had a 5-year-old son in common, And she said, despite all of his problems, when he's around his kid, he's a great father and never went long without contacting his son. No matter what kind of shit mess he was in, he'd always contact his son. Yeah. So they're like, what the fuck? So they said that Josh is in constant contact with his mother in New York, and she hadn't heard from Josh either. This is a problem. She said she contacted all of his known associates, and no one had heard or seen from them. He's 6'1", 37 years old, Josh Wetzler, and she describes him as being heavy-set or overweight.
Oh.
Yeah. She said she considered Joshua to be homeless since his electricity and water had been turned off for non-payment and his landlord had evicted him.
Yeah, that's very
homeless.
Definition of it, yeah.
Yeah, not having a place to stay. That's that.
Wow. I call him homeless because he doesn't live anywhere.
I call him homeless because he doesn't have a home. So I don't want to be too judgmental. Yeah, he's not home full. They said that Josh was into the hippie scene and used to go to Grateful Dead concerts a lot in years past. He said that they know well from Pazuzu, and they all know each other here. So his vehicle was located actually at an apartment complex. He had a 1989 Buick, which is 2010. He's got an 89 Buick. That's rough going here. They found that in a apartment complex at 300 East Brookline Street in Winston-Salem. They said the police officer found his vehicle parked illegally within the parking lot and found the driver's side window rolled down and the keys in the ignition. Oh. It's such a shit car you can leave it in a parking lot in an apartment complex.
For several days.
Windows down, keys in the ignition. Months, it's actually.
And it's still there.
Oh, no, that was 7/26 they found it. Sorry. So, no, at any amount of time, though.
An hour.
God damn. At that point, they did a check on it, found it hadn't been reported stolen, so they just gave it a ticket and moved on. So February 23rd, 2010, Lieutenant Foster applies for and is granted a search warrant for the Pazuzu residence. Okay.
Oh, Jesus, this poor bastard doesn't know how not of a gift that
you
is.
Don't want this at all. Yeah, you need a hazmat suit. Yeah. So they get a collaborative effort going on with the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, the Davie County Sheriff's Office, everything. They look all through this, and they said that they found no physical evidence that indicated a homicide had occurred there. And it's such a mess, it would be hard.
Yeah.
It's difficult here. And they said that they were, they didn't know what to do at that point. Yeah. They're like, okay, what the fuck do we do now?
Sprayed luminol, but it's just glowing pentagrams everywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing. And they said they even had cadaver dogs sniffing the backyards and all of that. So they conduct an interview with Pazuzu while on the scene. And he denied any and all involvement in the homicide or burying bodies or anything like that. He said, I'm gross, but I'm not a murderer. I mean, want your teeth filed down? Those look a little square. Yeah. By the way, I can help you with that. So at that point, too, that the detectives did not have a specific location in the backyard to search. They just sent the dog walking around. Yeah. There's also, they said that there were 3 males that went missing from the Clemmons area between June 2009 and June 2010, 2 of which had not been located, Tommy Dean Welch and Joshua Wetzler, and the 3rd missing person was found in a river in Yadkin County. It was a single gunshot wound to the head with a .22, but the other 2 still missing, and one of them's Josh. Let's talk about the Joseph Emmerich Chandler here. He's the guy who was found in the river. So he was found there, they said, shortly before 9:40 a.m. Employees on a boat ramp in the park found him dead from a gunshot wound. They interviewed several suspects in the killing, but no arrests were made. Chandler had attended a party at another man's home in Clemmons on Sunday.
Uh-oh.
A videotape shows Chandler with the same man earlier at a convenience store in Clemmons. No evidence of a struggle and any of that stuff. So let's talk about this. October 2010, they're going to arrest Pazuzu for Joseph Chandler.
Really?
Yes, because that's the guy he was with before that.
He was with Pazuzu.
And now he's dead in a river. So they'd like to have a chat with him. And he's charged with his involvement in the death here. But he's charged as an accessory after the fact of involuntary manslaughter.
Okay.
So he only receives 5 years probation.
What?
5 years probation.
What the fuck?
He was accused of misleading investigators and allowing a suspect in the shooting to stay at his home. That's what they said. They said he didn't do it, but they think somebody else did it. The Nicholas Pasquale Rizzi of Louisville was charged with involuntary manslaughter. On his way back from getting some Mario food, he did that. So, yeah, his mom said she's concerned for Pazuzu's mental health.
Really?
After all this, she said he's worried he might kill himself one day. So psychiatrists during this whole thing interviewed mom, Cynthia James, while Pazuzu was awaiting trial. And psychiatrists wanted to see if he was competent to stand trial for this. So according to the psychiatrist report here, he had told psychiatrists that he practiced a Sumerian religion that involved the sacrificing of animals. He said he would have to perform the ritual during what he called the Black Moon.
Sure.
Yeah, obviously. What else are you going to fucking do? What are you going to do with a crescent? Are you going to crescent that shit?
It's got to be the new moon.
It's got to be a black moon. I mean, Jesus, obviously. And asked if he could get out of the hospital to perform his blood ritual.
Maybe once a month, just send me on home.
He was concerned with that.
Unbelievable.
So the mom said, she told the psychiatrist she was afraid Pazuzu might try to kill himself if he could not perform the dark moon sacrifice. You got to let him out of here.
Yeah.
So they said that he did that all the time in his house, pentagrams and satanic messages scrawled on the walls of the house, and there's what appeared to be animal carcasses and shit everywhere. So, yeah, obviously mental health evaluation. During the interview with psychiatrists, Pazuzu shook uncontrollably and admitted to drinking about 18 beers a day by this point.
Oh, boy.
That's why he's shaking. They also noticed he had intentionally filed down his teeth, had poor hygiene and body odor. The report said, and he admitted that he bathed no more than once a year and had not brushed his teeth in years. He felt such actions stripped the body of its defenses in warding off infection and illness. Be filthy and you'll have less infections.
Don't
temper
brush your
yourself
teeth or you'll get the flu.
Wow. Yeah, you got to have like a layer of bacteria of your own to ward off the outside bacteria. So psychiatrists determined, again, that he suffers from schizophrenia, agoraphobia, alcoholism, but mentally competent to stand trial, they said here. So they said whenever he's outside of his house, he feels markedly increased anxiety, leading at times to actual episodes of panic. As a result of this anxiety, he has tremendously limited his activities, essentially making himself a prisoner in his own home. He said he told doctors in an interview that he was arrested because, quote, they say I witnessed someone kill someone and I didn't report it. Okay. That's what he's saying. He also says he has panic symptoms and everything else. The doctors said that he was healthy and taking medications for his mental illness, including Paxil, Lamictal, and Ativan. He said the drugs made him feel like a zombie. Yes, because they gave you a lot of them because you're out of your fucking mind.
That's what they're doing. Those are antipsychotics, and they're trying to help you.
I'm usually against these zombifying drugs, but in this case, I'm all for them. If we could get a drug where he literally can't move, that would be wonderful. Can we do that? This guy's
just
terrifying.
Tranquilizer in a gun form. I don't care. Shoot him in the fucking neck every day. I don't give a shit.
Trank dart him. I don't care.
Out of his mind.
He gets out of bed, stretches, pop, trank dart. He falls over. And so he said that he frequently fought with other students in school, and it was always disrespectful to teachers. Yeah. And he said he had schizophrenia, quote, because I get paranoid that someone's out to get me. You don't have schizophrenia because of that. No. You think that because of the schizophrenia. That's the problem. Yeah. You're backwards here. So this is from the 2010 Forensic Psychiatric Evaluation, accidentally posted online in full by the hospital.
Oh, no.
Yeah. This is from the date of October 4th, 2010. It said, on admission, he appeared as cooperative and behaviorally appropriate. He appeared to be a cooperative and behaviorally appropriate white male who appeared his stated age. His hair was long, uncombed, and braided into matted plaits with pieces of metallic wire wound in it as part of the braids. Wow. I guess to keep the structure because you're a blonde kid. Yeah. He had numerous tattoos on his face, trunk, arms, and hands. There was a scar in the shape of an inverted cross on his forehead, because that's what he's carved into his forehead now, as well as faint scars on both cheeks, curving up from the corners of his mouth to the angles of his jaw. Yeah, he gave himself
He's got a smile.
Joker scars. Yeah. That's nice. As well as a healing burn injury on his right forearm, which he said represented a brand that was, quote, part of my religion. The tips of his teeth showed intentional tapering, and he subsequently admitted that years ago he attempted to file them down to points. Mr. Algarad has generally poor hygiene with notable body odor and has admitted he bathed no more than once a year and has not brushed his teeth in years because he felt that these actions stripped the body of its defenses and warding off infection and illness. He described his moods as nervous, while his affect appeared quite apprehensive and anxious. His speech was tremulous but otherwise of normal rate, tone, and volume. His hands shook and he had a difficulty remaining seated, frequently arising to pace the room. Yeah, psychomotor activity was otherwise within normal limits. No unusual verbal or physical mannerisms were noted. He tended to insist that he had done nothing wrong and that he did not know why he'd been sent here. Okay, well, that's a problem. I do. He denied symptoms consistent with hallucinations and displayed no behavioral evidence to the contrary. He also, although he voiced unusual beliefs, it was not clear whether any of these rose to the level of constituting delusions. If you feel that bad things are going to happen if you don't do your black moon sacrifice, that's probably delusional a bit, I think.
Maybe a little.
A little bit delusional here. They said that he was his intellectual functioning was estimated to be in the average range. He's 5'8", 118 pounds.
Jesus.
But has high cholesterol and a BMI of 17.9.
He has 20% body fat?
So somehow at 5'8", $120, he's fat. I don't know how the fuck he worked that out, but he figured it out.
With high cholesterol.
With high cholesterol, because imagine what he eats. Shit, fast food probably.
Yeah, probably.
He stated that he was spiritually married to his girlfriend. Oh, you and Cody Brown, huh? Both of you, your spiritual marriages. Who is 2.5 months pregnant with their child. This is when she loses it, though. He denied any other children born either in or out of wedlock. At the time of his alleged offense, he was living with his mother and girlfriend at his mother's house. Wow. He reported that he practices a Sumerian religion, having been an adherent of it since he was 17. He later acknowledged that he and his wife are the only ones who practice this religion because he fucking made it up. But he said that he learned of its rites and beliefs while going through a 5-year shamanistic journey.
No, he's a shamanista, James.
Are you out of your fucking
he's a
mind?
Shaman.
He had to go through the whole journey to figure it out, and then he made his own fucking religion up. At the time of his admission, he expressed great concern because every month he had to perform a specific ritual during the black moon, which was supposed to occur in another day or so. He repeatedly requested being discharged from the hospital so he would be able to be home to perform the rituals at its appointed time, promising that he would return for evaluation when the ritual was complete. Listen,
I'll be right back.
I'll be back in a minute. You guys got like a van or something outside? Wow. Information from his mother suggested the ritual involved killing a small animal as part of a sacrifice. Okay. He did not voice any other significant spiritual concerns. Been hospitalized for mental health care when he was around 13, having been sent there by his mother because of, quote, getting into trouble. He eventually denied any other history of prior psychiatric hospitalizations and other periods of working with outpatient mental health services. He said he had been diagnosed in the past with agoraphobia, saying that when he's outside his house, my anxiety gets so high I faint. Well, you're a real devil, aren't you?
Yeah.
If you could defeat the devil by just pushing him out in his front yard, that would be real easy, right? No one would even worry about it.
When you're out there, do the sandworms get you? Like what?
That's what I mean. What are we talking about? He also says he has schizophrenia because I get paranoid that someone's out to get me. He also reported a diagnosis of manic depression associated with occasional mood swings, but not over little things, he said. But he denies any history of pervasive affective dysregulation or psychotic symptoms, and he denied ever being suicidal. So, yeah, this is fucking insane. So, 2011, Amber takes a trip home. And her friend said she was acting on edge. Amber told her a story about how, the law had shown up at her house and that the officers said someone reported Pazuzu as a terrorist.
Yeah.
So she said Amber laughed about the encounter and told her friend how Pazuzu answered the door and responded with a laugh and a denial when he learned why the officers were there. So it was Amber and her old friend hanging out in South Carolina on October 1st. And her friend said she was acting, she was a little more edgy acting and stuff. I thought she was a really nice person, so I had no reason not to be her friend or anything. She came over, we caught up, had a couple of beers, and hung out at the house. So every once in a while, Amber seems to have a longing for normalcy. Where she, for a weekend, she'll go to South Carolina, see her old friends, not live in squalor, shit in a toilet.
Remember the horses.
Yeah, maybe pick up the bass and do a couple of brums on it, and that's that.
Throw an apple down a horse's throat, ride one for a little bit, and remember that she's a rich girl.
That's all. So he pleads guilty now to assault on a female, which was his mother, even though she didn't want to press charges. The state did, and he's placed on probation for a year. So now he's on total of 6 years probation. Now, September 22nd, 2011, Amber Birch, this is a month after he pleads guilty to that. Right. Amber is accused of slapping and attempting to choke Pazuzu's mom, Cynthia.
So, because Pazuzu got in trouble for it,
yeah,
she'll do it so it doesn't fuck with him.
So it doesn't fuck with him, exactly. He probably told her to.
Yeah.
So she is sentenced to 2 months or 12 months of probation as well. So they both get that.
She's got a year now.
Yeah. 2 months after this, she is charged with assault and battery when the police alleged that she hit Pazuzu in the face.
Oh, terrific.
Which, if you look at that guy, you go with self-defense, right? Obviously, look at this fucking guy. He's trying to bite you or something.
I mean, she's not doing any damage, that's for sure.
Totally. So when they start getting arrested, one of her friends was checking out a Facebook page and said, I immediately recognized him. I was shocked. I walked outside and said, oh, my God, why are you shocked about this? Yeah. Wow. A friend remembered at one point that she came over and Amber had apologized for the mess because she hadn't washed the dishes, like back in the day. She said, I remember one time going to Amber's house. She's like, oh, sorry, there's dishes in the sink. And now she's hearing about animal corpses and shit in the corner.
Yeah.
She's like, what the fuck? So that's very, very interesting. So Cynthia James talks to the cops in November of 2011. She comes to the sheriff's office and says, I got to talk to you. Okay. She said, listen, 2009, later months of 2009, Pazuzu, Amber, and a stocky white male came over. She said that he was identified to her as Tommy, and they were all partying at the house. She said that she heard a gunshot and went to the area where she heard the gunshot and observed Amber holding a rifle and the Tommy subject slumped over on the couch. She told the detectives that Pazuzu told her to leave the area, so she did.
Okay.
Try that shit with your mom. She walks in, your girlfriend just shot a guy, and he's like, go away. My mom would be like, what are you talking about? Oh, my God. It would be the end of the world. She wouldn't go away at all.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cashback really adds up.
Escape reality and immerse yourself in a gripping tale of mystery, murder, and romance with June's Journey. Join June as she unravels the truth behind her sister's mysterious death and use your observation skills to find hidden clues and uncover dark secrets. Plus, you get to explore stunning hidden object scenes, from New York parlors to Parisian sidewalks, as each chapter reveals captivating mysteries. How sharp are your observation skills? Put them to the test in June's Journey. Download for free today on iOS and Android.
Then She said that a short time later, another white female, identified as Dixie, came over and was helping Amber bury the body in the backyard. So Pazuzu did nothing. She did all the killing and burying. That's according to Pazuzu's mom. She told the detective that she looked out her bathroom window and observed Dixie and Amber digging a hole in the backyard.
Just two chicks.
Just a couple of chicks doing some fucking cleanup here.
Not my Johnny.
Not my Johnny. So time goes by. There's a missing person report for Tommy Welch, a guy named Tommy Welch, on August 5th, 2013. They contacted Welch's mother and obtained no new information on her son. He'd been reported missing in 2009. He was one of those three, remember? It was Wetzler and the Chandler and this guy. He was last seen at his brother's apartments, which is in Clemmons as well. He left his brother's apartment and was said to be walking to his apartment in Clemmons. He could be seen on a video surveillance from a gas station here near the road here. He could be seen walking through a parking lot of a Lowe's food and walked out of the camera's view and was never heard from after that. Ever again. So in 2014, somebody came in, or the cop came to speak with a guy named Daniel Pilcher about an unrelated case. Okay, so this is 2014. They're just talking to some guy named Daniel Pilcher about something that has nothing to do with this. So upon making initial contact with Pilcher, Pilcher asked the cop, "Are you here to talk about Pazuzu?"
Oh.
And they were like, "Okay,
really,
sure. I mean, we will. Yeah, why not?" Yeah. So they said, "Yeah, let's do that." So they told Daniel that he wasn't there to talk about Pazuzu, but he said, "If you got anything to talk about, I'd love to."
Yeah, sure.
So he said, this Pilcher guy said that, "Well, I lived with Pazuzu for about 3 months, and while I was living there, Pazuzu told me there was a body buried in his backyard."
Oh, boy.
Yeah. He told, this Pilcher said that Pazuzu showed him specifically where the body was buried and told Pilcher that, quote, "the fat motherfucker was buried right there under the plastic tarp." So the police requested Pilcher to draw a picture and show me where the body's located in the backyard. So he indicated on a drawing that a tarp was near the house and the back door of the residence that leads to the basement. He told the cop that if you exit the basement door into the backyard, that tarp was located outside the door to the right. So at the conclusion of this interview, they say, "Well, will you give a whole written statement and all of that?" And he said, "Sure, no problem, whatever." So then on September 26th, 2014, police receive a Crime Stoppers report from the Winston-Salem Police Department, which had been forwarded to the cop here. So the Crime Stoppers report showed that a subject by the name of Matthew Flowers had information about a murder and burial at Pazuzu's house.
So many people are privy to this.
Everybody knows. Well, this guy indicated that his ex-wife, Dixie Ross, remember Dixie is the one that Cynthia said was digging, had assisted in the burial of the body. So that's two independent sources. He also said, this guy told the cops in his report that he anonymously reported the same when he first received the information. So he was the initial anonymous call.
Right.
So, yes, they talked to him. Matthew tells the cop that he'd known Pazuzu for about 8 years and that Pazuzu told him that he'd raped and murdered numerous people. That ups the ante a bit. But Matthew didn't know if Pazuzu was serious or not. He said he couldn't provide an exact date when he heard Pazuzu make the comments. And Matthew also tells the cops that he found out that Pazuzu's girlfriend Amber and a girl he used to date, Dixie, had become close friends and that Dixie was spending time at Pazuzu's on a regular basis.
Oh, boy.
He said that when he returned from deployment, Matthew was overseas. When he came back, he and Dixie began to talk again. And Matthew stated that Dixie told him that she was a part of the family, meaning Pazuzu's weird little cult, and that she'd been involved with some weird things. Yeah, I would say. Matthew stated he grew worried about Dixie's welfare and knows that Pazuzu was extremely odd and sadistic. He also stated here, Matthew, that he paid for Dixie's flight to Washington State, where he was stationed while he was enlisted in the Army. He said he picked up Dixie from the airport, and during the car ride, Dixie told him that Pazuzu and Amber shot a guy in the back of the head with a .22 caliber rifle.
Why are they so mouthy about it?
Everybody loves to talk about who they're killing and burying.
Unbelievable.
It's like it's not illegal. Like you're just talking about a restaurant you went to that was good. We went to this one place, amazing tacos. The street tacos, you got to get them.
A bit more garlic than I thought. But...
It's a little too much garlic at the... I don't like Mario food, too much garlic. So Matthew told the cop that Dixie knew this because she helped them bury the body shortly after the man had been shot. So Amber called her up and said, we need help, and she came right over with a shovel in hand, I guess.
What a gal.
So this guy tells the cops that once Dixie arrived at the residence, Amber told Dixie that they shot a guy they needed help burying the body, and that Dixie told him Pazuzu could not help with burying the body because he was jumping on the body yelling, "You fucked up, motherfucker." Wow. Instead of, because he was doing that, and in the process of doing that, he rolled his ankle. So he sprained his ankle jumping up and down on a corpse yelling, "You fucked up, motherfucker."
He's like the quarterback that twists his ankle at the celebratory dance.
Yeah, that the old kicker that blew his knee out jumping up. Yeah, Grammatico was it? Yeah. So he also says that Dixie went into the backyard and began helping dig with Amber. So the mother was telling the truth on that one. Mm-hmm. This guy also says that Dixie told him that she didn't know how long she dug, but that she remembered trying to hurry. Well, yeah, it's a corpse. You want to get that in there.
You don't want to get caught doing this either.
Yeah, Matthew then tells the cop that Dixie had told him that Dixie and Amber didn't dig the hole deep enough, so the body was protruding from the ground.
Oh, Jesus.
Which is almost worse than just leaving it sitting in the corner like fucking Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, it's a little scarier.
Yeah, at least if it's out in the open, you might overlook it. If you look in the backyard and see just like a fucking foot sticking out, that's a problem.
Chest.
You're getting a shovel at that point. So there's just a Buc-ee's shirt popping over the. So they said that they decided to help. They decided in order to make him fit, they decided to break the victim's legs by swinging the shovel and striking his arms and legs so that the body would fit into the hole.
Jesus, man.
Let's make it even worse here. They said that Matthew said Dixie told him that this wasn't successful, so they put a plastic tarp over the body instead.
And that's their solution?
Yeah, that's how it is. So Matthew also said that weeks went by and he hadn't seen or heard anything from Pazuzu, so he regularly contacted Pazuzu in hopes of hearing from him that the police had come by. Did they listen to my tip? Wow. Matthew said that about a month or two later, Pazuzu called him freaking out and was calling Dixie a bitch and a snitch because no one else knew. Because it was Matthew the whole time. Matthew said that he took leave from the Army and told Pazuzu in person that he was the one who reported him to law enforcement and that he wasn't scared of him.
Oh.
I ain't scared. You weigh 120 pounds of cholesterol. I'm not scared of you.
I've been to Iraq. I'm not scared of you.
Not scared of you. Matthew told the cop now that he would testify to what he knows. He's not scared at all. He said he doesn't know where Dixie is at this moment, but he thinks she's in Winston-Salem dating a guy named Cameron. So there we go. Now, Dixie Ross. They sit her down. They find her and they sit her down. And she says that, she recalls a conversation between her and Amber where she remembers, she said that Amber looked at her and said, "Hey, can you keep a secret?" The answer to that is not really, no. That's the answer to that.
Probably not, but try me.
Not even close. I'm awful. I'm the last person you want to tell this to. Dixie said she replied yes, like a fucking idiot. And then Amber asked Dixie to promise not to tell anyone, even Pazuzu. Gee, are we keeping it from the Sumerian gods as well? Who else knows? Dixie said that Amber then leaned in and whispered to her and told her, quote, "I'm going to do my first." I'm going to do my first.
Yeah.
Dixie said, what does that mean? And Amber, Dixie said it meant that premeditated murder is what she was.
About to murder somebody.
So Dixie said she inquired further and she said, like Paz, like he's done, is what Amber said, like he does. So, but they call him Paz all the time, by the way, which you could have just named yourself Paz if that's what you wanted your fucking name to be.
You could just go by John at this point. That's stupid.
It's one syllable. Yeah. John is so easy. So Dixie then said she recalled a time when Pazuzu stated that he had killed people and that the bodies were buried in separate locations within his backyard. Dixie said she tried to pry further into Amber's statement, but Amber changed the subject. So she said, she didn't want to push here. But about 3 days after that, she received a text from Amber saying something to the effect of, I need your help and I need you to come over right away. So Dixie said she immediately got dressed and head over to the Pazuzu residence here, Casa de Pazuzu. Yeah. And Dixie said that prior to leaving, she got another text from Amber that said, never mind, as she was about to go over to the house. So she said she ignored the message and went to Pazuzu's anyway. Once she arrived, she observed Amber sitting on the front porch. Dixie said she walks up to Amber, and Amber said, I just did my first, with a big smile on her face. Oh. She said because Amber was smiling, she assumed that Amber was playing a joke on her. Yeah. She said that Pazuzu and Amber said they picked up a hitchhiker and he was outside in the backyard. She said at this point she didn't believe her, and she said, where's Pazuzu? I'll hear it from him. Mm-hmm. And she said that Amber halfway laughed and replied that Pazuzu had tripped and hurt his ankle while jumping on the hitchhiker. Then Amber said, come on inside. And Dixie said she was afraid to say no and was honestly curious whether this was a joke or not. My curiosity is gone. Curious. I am not curious at all. That is fucking crazy. She said that once she got in the living room, Pazuzu saw her and placed his hand over her face and said out loud, are you fucking serious? You told her?
Unbelievable.
So Dixie said, Amber said, no, I didn't tell her. She's just going to help me make a hole for those trees we're planting. Those giant trees that need like a 6.5 foot long hole.
And it's 6 feet wide, about
big
2
trees,
feet deep.
Big trees were planted. Yeah, fully grown. Pulled them out of some other guy's yard. Oh, wow. And says she didn't know anything about the trees. And Dixie said at this point she realized that this wasn't a joke.
Yeah.
So they went downstairs into the basement. They retrieved 2 average-sized shovels, and she asked Amber what's going on, and Amber said, don't worry about it. I'll tell you later. And then Dixie and Amber went in the backyard. Once they're outside and dug a hole, they observed a black tarp. She observed a black tarp laying flat over what appeared to be a body. Dixie said Amber asked her if she wanted to look under the tarp, and again, Dixie said, being afraid to say no, and also wanting to know what was going on. You see a corpse shape under a tarp, you know what's going on. My curiosity is fucking over. So she said, yes.
God damn it, you told somebody? What's wrong with you? What do you think he told her?
Dixie said, yes, I'd like to see. Oh, she said she saw a white male's arm on the side of his torso. She said he was laying face down on his stomach, and then Amber walked toward the middle of the yard and said, come on. Dixie said she replied, what the fuck is going on? And Amber said, I'll tell you later. And then they had to get this hole dug before the sun came up. Oh, boy. She said the ground was extremely hard and it was difficult to dig. And she said that her sandals kept falling off when she jumped on the shovel, which made it hard.
You're digging with sandals. Idiot.
Yeah, that's not going to work because she didn't know she was digging a hole for a body when she got there. She said she used this as an excuse to stop digging. And Dixie told Amber she couldn't do it anymore because her sandals kept falling off. So Amber then took off her own shoes and gave them to Dixie to wear. Here, wear my shoes.
Wear my Docs.
Amber then went and put shoes on that Dixie never saw before. She said then Amber started beginning to sing as she's digging. She says, singing, quote, I'm wearing a dead man's shoes.
Oh, dear
just having fun. Over and over, very loud, she said.
Wearing that guy's shoes.
Which defeats the purpose of digging at night.
Yeah.
If you're
down, dog.
If you're singing your crimes out loud, really the time of day doesn't matter at that point.
We may as well do this during the day.
And Amber, she asked Amber, are you serious? And Amber laughed and said, yeah. Dixie said she was disgusted, but still continued to dig. She said, very curious. This is what happens. This is what minding your own business will avoid. The last thing Amber sent her was never mind. And she said, no, I'm going to explore. Then Amber said, oh, this is what happened. Really? Let me look into it further. Really? Let me look into it further. Look into it further. You want to look under this tarp? I was curious, so I looked. Mind your own fucking business. So, wow. She said the hole was then a few feet deep. Pazuzu came out of the house wearing the knife, as he usually does, clipped to his belt. Dixie said Pazuzu took a look at the hole and told them to put the body in the hole. They looked at one another and said the hole was too small then and the body wouldn't fit. Pazuzu told Amber and Dixie it would be fine and just put the goddamn body in the hole.
Just do it.
He's a lazy murderer.
Yeah.
Dixie said that she started to tell Pazuzu no, but Pazuzu said, quote, "Bitch, there's plenty of room for you in this yard, too."
I'll make another one.
Wow. While looking around the backyard with his arms up. You see room? I got room in this fucking yard. One thing I got, it's backyard, baby. Bring it on. Wow. Dixie said she refused to drag the body and told Pazuzu that he and Amber would have to do it. Dixie said that Pazuzu spat on the ground and replied, "All right, fine." They said that Dixie said that Pazuzu and Amber walked over to the body and began to drag the body by the feet with the tarp still laying on top. I don't even think he hurt his ankle. I think he pretended it so he didn't have to dig a hole. I think he's lazy. Yeah. Dixie said once the body was near the hole, Amber and Pazuzu removed the tarp and tried to force the body into the hole. She said that's when she first observed the entire body. She said a white male, light brown or sandy blonde hair, about 200 pounds, wearing only boxers, and that's what she said. She said she saw the eyes of the dead person and recalled them being gray and cold looking. Well, he's been dead for a while. And she also saw a bullet hole in the back of his head.
Jesus.
So she said that Dixie said that Pazuzu, it was between the back and side of the head was the bullet hole. She said that they flipped the body over into the hole and that at that point the body didn't fit. So, and suggested maybe move the body into the fetal position, Dixie said. And Pazuzu said, nah, let's just break his arms and legs.
Just beat it.
Yeah. So she watched them swing the shovels like baseball bats at his arms and legs. She said she didn't recall seeing any damage, but vividly recalls the noise the shovels made when they struck the body. She said she didn't recall hearing bones break, but after they were done striking him with shovels, they continued to cover the body with dirt. At one point, Pazuzu's mother, Cynthia, came outside and acted as if she was pulling weeds.
Oh, my God.
I'm just going to do some gardening in the middle of the night while you bury a corpse. God. That's normal, right? Yeah. Dixie said Pazuzu cursed at his mother and told her to get the fuck back inside.
Yeah, stop being so curious.
Oh, my God. Once they were out of dirt, Dixie said she could still see the dead guy's knee and part of the head sticking out above the ground. She pointed that out to Pazuzu, and then they just pulled the tarp over the body. Then Pazuzu grabbed random items from around the backyard and placed them on top of the tarp, to keep it down in the wind. Yeah. Amber then suggested they clean the shovels by dunking them into the pool. Clean pool. Very clean. Would you do that with your pool? You have a pool?
I would never.
God, no. Oh, God, that's going to take a week to fix.
No.
Oh, no. They added that Pazuzu kept his pool overly chlorinated and that Amber must have thought this would remove any evidence of a crime from the shovels. Oh, my God. Dixie said she followed Amber and Pazuzu upstairs. That's where they said the shooting occurred. And Amber and Pazuzu told her parts about the murder. She said that they picked up a hitchhiker to party with, and Dixie said that they returned to Pazuzu's house. While they were partying, they began to ask questions such as his family, if anyone was expecting him. Yeah. You don't have like a bunch of people. You don't have like a dad who's like a state trooper who's expecting you to be there in a half hour, do you?
Yeah, anywhere you're supposed to be. Anybody can corroborate that timeline.
Anything like that? Dixie said Amber then walked into Pazuzu's room, retrieved a gun, and shot him in the back of the head. So this is Dixie's deed here.
Shit, yeah.
So
Amber's deed.
Amber's deed, not Dixie. This is Amber's deed here. Dixie then said that they told her that he was sitting on the left side of the couch, and that Dixie said that they told her if you tell anyone, even Nate, who was her boyfriend at the time, that she would be their second or maybe third. It was at this time they allowed Dixie to leave, but asked her if she was going to come back in the future. Being scared, she replied yes.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. I'll be right back. Everything she replied yes to, she should have replied no to in this entire day.
Petrified, yeah.
She came back 2 days later and pretended everything was fine, Dixie said. She said everyone was drinking and having a good time, and Dixie began taking pictures of everyone. She said she made sure that she captured the tarp that was still covering the body in the background of the pictures. She was hoping she would have the courage to take the pictures, take the pictures coupled with her story to law enforcement, but she said she just didn't have the balls to do it.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Yep. She said that there was a small get-together at Pazuzu's apartment about 2 weeks after the murder, and that Amber asked her to help with the body again because it was starting to smell. Yeah. She said, there's too many people here. They're going to see what we're doing. And Amber said that Dixie said Amber comforted her and said, Pazuzu will keep all the people away. Uh-huh. So again, there was a big pile of loose dirt by the body, and Dixie said she and Amber began to shovel the loose dirt onto the body. She said the smell was so foul that she had to cover her face with her sweatshirt, and also they were then, patted the dirt down with their shovels. They said this didn't help at all with the smell.
No.
Dixie noticed that her boyfriend, Nate, was observed by Pazuzu peeking through the window toward the backyard. Pazuzu then came into the backyard and told Dixie to go check on Nate. And Dixie said she went to the front porch where Nate was, and he was extremely intoxicated. Dixie said Nate saw her in the backyard, and he thought she was participating in their weird rituals or something to that effect. He's like, I don't know, they're doing some weird shit.
What bloodletting shit are they doing back there?
Dixie said that she was relieved that Nate didn't really know what was going on, but then told him a lie and stated she wasn't doing anything like that. She was helping them build a fire pit for the party.
We're burying the fire pit.
Yeah. So they said, they asked Dixie, the cops do, was there a fire pit in the backyard? And she said no. So if he just said, oh, cool, let's go to the fire pit, there's no fire pit. That is fucking wild. So she said that Pazuzu often talked about building a fire pit because his dogs would dig up the animal sacrifices he'd buried and chew on the remains. Dixie said she was just thinking on her feet, and the first thing that came to her mind was a fire pit.
Wow.
So when all this is taken in, they go, well, we have some definite probable cause here for a lot. That's a pretty detailed deal here. Yeah. So August 22nd, 2014, they talked to Daniel Pilcher, who knew Algarad, and he said he lived there for 3 months, and we talked about all of that. He was the one that was talking about the murder as well. So they go to his house to search. Uh-huh. Okay. On the front door.
This is a gross day.
Yeah, there's a sign warning law enforcement personnel not to enter.
Uh-huh.
And it says, no gang members allowed. Anyone that dresses the same, has the same badge, and calls themselves the authority of the land they did not create cannot come in here. Evil will triumph. And there's a big picture of skull and crossbones there as well.
Okay.
So that's nice. That's the search they do here.
If you've got a uniform, you're not welcome here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whether it's in a gang uniform or a cop uniform, it's all the same.
Pizza uniform.
Yeah. Like an old rap song,
Yeah.
talking about how the LAPD is the biggest gang in town.
Yeah.
So the cops say that too, actually.
Do they?
Yeah, that's a big thing. They go, we got the biggest, most well-armed gang in the whole city. The cops say that all the time.
They
say that, especially in Baltimore, that was a big thing. Yeah. So, and I've read books with cops literally saying
That's
that.
That's a shitty thing to say out loud.
So on 11 a.m. here this one day, we'll talk about, Tommy Welch is found. Tommy Dean Welch is they find 2 bodies in shallow graves in the house.
In the backyard?
In the backyard. One is Tommy Welch, by the way, less than a mile from his apartment. So he was walking from one apartment to the other, happened to, do that. So that's very fucking sad, I would say. He said that his brother and his wife and children were supposed to have dinner and watch movies together, but he never showed up. Mm-hmm. So they were having Domino's pizza.
Yeah.
He never came, never showed up for the Domino's. Yeah. So Pazuzu and Amber are charged with murder and accessory after the fact. Mm-hmm. And Crystal Nicole Matlock, who was 28 years old, was charged with an accessory after the fact.
What did Crystal do?
We'll find that out, yeah.
Okay.
They talk about Josh. They call him a peace-loving hippie, Joshua Weltzer. Yeah. They found him. They found skeletal remains of Weltzer and Welch here. So Wetzler and Welch. What are the odds that you kill 2 guys that begin with the
last
name with W?
Yeah.
What are the odds of that?
Yeah.
So, wow. They said that he wasn't into like any of the he wasn't into like any of the weird shit. He was just into.
Yeah.
He liked to do drugs and do all of that. Yeah. His ex-wife said he didn't domesticate well, which is a good way to put it.
Okay.
Then they say this: he dug a hole that just got deeper. Don't say that when he was found in a shallow grave in the backyard. He just lost contact with a lot of friends. Why doesn't anybody think of the words they use ever?
Self-awareness is nil. It's great.
How often do we come across this type of thing, though? Is it because it's in their brain?
Yeah.
It's a seed that's planted, and it's weird.
They just don't know how to have a good thought about some... Other than what they've said that a million times is the thing.
Yeah.
They've said to somebody a bunch of times, he does drugs, he gets himself into a hole, and he digs deeper and deeper.
Digs a deeper hole. Yeah. But is it like one of those things that's planted in your head? Like, don't say he dug a deeper hole. Like when we would do like a local news spot, and they'd be like, "Don't curse," and I'm like, all I want to do is say "fuck" now. Shit, what am I going to do? The whole time, like, don't say "fuck," don't say "fuck," don't say "fuck." That's all I'm saying in my head. Like, if you just wouldn't have told me that, I wouldn't want to, but now I want to. So, they got along. I guess he worked for Domino's Pizza, and he had stopped, had some pizza, and then took off here. Mm-hmm. So this is very fucking sad, obviously. Keith Bryson is a guy who lived across the street of Pazuzu, and he said that he had watched the dogs come 2 years earlier and get no results and everything, and now they're coming and finding fucking bodies back here.
Boy.
So this is fucking wild, man. So the autopsies come in here. An autopsy report shows that one of the men's skeletal remains that were found there was shot multiple times, including 3 times in the head.
Yeah.
So these are both guys from the same time. Wetzler was shot 3 times in the head, 4 times around the torso. Welch was shot once in the back of the head.
Huh.
So Dixie helped bury that guy because she said she saw the one wound in the back of the head. So 3 people charged in the killings, like we said, and they're all going to have to go to court. They say that this was all July of 2009, and then Welch was in October 2009. They finished all the medical exams and said obviously murder. They both been shot and buried in a fucking yard. Mm-hmm. Not a lot to say. Not a lot to. You can't really go, well, I don't know. It's cloudy whether it's a murder or not. He might have shot himself in the back of the head with a rifle and then buried himself in the yard.
Mass suicide in my backyard.
Yeah. So they're still investigating the house here. They're walking through the house and trying to figure this out. And I'll post pictures of the house on our social media. It is, you remember, it's fucking insane. It's disgusting. Yeah. It's absolutely horrifying. The house is owned by Cynthia Lawson and her ex-husband, Johnny Larry James. Johnny Larry James?
Johnny Larry James
is his first name.
Names.
You could just mix those up like dice and roll them. James Larry Johnny, no problem.
Good enough, yeah.
Larry James Johnny, okay, that's a name. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Works for me. So they're talking about, there's a lot of talk about, didn't the cops come here with cadaver dogs while there was 2 corpses in the yard?
What the fuck?
Like, not even buried deep. Like, so much you could smell it just hanging out. Right there,
yeah.
That's crazy. Those are shit dogs. They need to train those fucking dogs better. So they said that they have videos of the house, and the way they put it is rooms and hallways are blanketed in trash and animal carcasses. The walls are spray painted in graffiti, covered in mold, and lined with hundreds of satanic photos and drawings. They said that, according to a friend here, Algarad claimed to get high from eating the still beating heart of sacrificial animals.
Fuck, dude.
Got high off of that and bragged openly about having killed 2 prostitutes at one point, too. That is something else. But they only found in the yard the 2 bodies. So, but then again, one got ditched in a river before that. So,
who knows?
Wow. One time when this one friend talks about conditions inside the house, she said they were so bad that she thought she was going to vomit when she came over. She said when she first arrived to visit Amber in 2009, Pazuzu was completely naked.
Perfect.
And never put any clothes on the whole time she was there.
Just hoping.
Just hung out. He's
hot
like,
to you or not?
God. Yeah, he's like, look at my cock like
look
that.
Look at it. I got high cholesterol. Let's get after it.
You're not a woman. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
Women are like, oh, God, why are you naked?
5'8" skinny guy. Nobody wants to see
Skinny
your
fat
dick.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're slim thick. Nobody wants that.
She also said the excrement on the floor, she couldn't tell. It was a mix of animal and human.
God damn it.
She said he was on all kinds of drugs and drink when I got there. I'm pretty sure I witnessed him peeing in the corner. She also said that his behavior was very sexual, very provocative.
He's helicoptering.
Yeah, his dick is out. That's all provocative.
Very provocative, yeah.
Hey, check out my cock is a provocative thing to do.
Yeah.
She said she walked into the house trying not to step on the excrement. She saw satanic sayings written all over the wall and filthy dishes piled up, quote, with bugs crawling all over them.
God damn it.
She said it reeked of feces and urine. Ugh. She said you didn't get a good feeling walking into the house at all. It was dark. It was like a lifeless house. It was creepy. There's so many dead things in there.
Right.
That is fucking funny, though. I'm pretty sure I witnessed him being in the corner. Probably.
How are you pretty sure? You should be very certain what you saw.
Oh, my God. She also said he commented a number of times that he was, quote, trying to get in my pants.
Okay.
And she said that Amber was all for it, but she said I made it clear that it wasn't going to happen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is absolutely disgusting. She said, at that time, I was partying with different drugs, and all I knew was, hey, it's a party. Granted, it took a lot to not throw everything back up. I woke up numerous times with Pazuzu over me trying to mess with me, she said that night as well, because she spent the night there. Oh, my Christ. She said that Amber was living with him for a long time, and she kept telling me about this really weird but super great guy that she was with. She said he wasn't the average person that she would be with. Amber was always a very clean-cut person. After about a month, she quit taking showers, dreadlocked her hair, filed her teeth down, quit shaving. It was not Amber at all. She also said, again, she heard Pazuzu talk about bragging about killing 2 prostitutes, and she said that she didn't believe him, though.
Yeah.
She said, quote, the facial tattoos, the Satanism, I never gave it much thought. I figured he was just trying to psych everybody out.
Yeah,
In high school, yes. If someone's 15 and they're doing that, yes. When they're an adult, if someone is filed down teeth, hasn't shaved in a year, fucking satanic and Nazi tattoos all over them, telling you that they drink blood and eat the still beating hearts of animals, and they say, I killed 2 prostitutes, fucking believe them. Face value.
And get away from them.
Yeah. If you look at that guy, you go, oh, he looks like a murderer. But if he tells you he's a murderer, then you don't believe him because he might be trying to psych you out. What are you talking about?
How do you go, I don't believe you, I'm hanging out. How do you do that?
Someone tells me they killed 2 prostitutes. I believe them, and I'm not hanging out with them anymore.
I'm going
Period.
home.
I'm going home. The fucking party's over here. So she said that was that. She said that Amber never mentioned that Pazuzu talked a lot about sacrifices, but never said human sacrifices. She said, quote, he made it a point to mention all the time that once a month he has to sacrifice a small rabbit or a small animal. He would describe the animal and bathing in or drinking the blood. He would get a drug-like high from eating the still-beating heart. I thought he was feeding me a load of crap. I thought it was a big show, one of those shock factors. He would say something along the lines of, we sacrificed it and had sex in its blood. I slept there on a number of occasions, and I never worried about him slicing my throat or anything.
What?
You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You're extremely lucky to have your throat intact then, you dumb shit.
You're the most trusting person on the planet.
Wow. They're showing you and telling you everything, and you're like, nah. I'll curl up on the couch over here.
Shut eye.
Oh, imagine the amount of bugs in that place.
I am so sleepy. Jesus.
I'm real tired now. The friend said about Amber that she was the type of girl that it didn't matter what was going on that was bad. It was her personal goal to put a smile on friends' faces. Wow. She said she thought that Pazuzu had brainwashed her friend. She said, I asked her, what the hell are you doing? This isn't you at all. All she could tell me was that she loved him. She told me that he'd been shooting up heroin and cocaine and smoking crack, and that she got pregnant. She said she miscarried from the stress. I think it was the drugs, but I'm not the doctor.
I ain't a doctor or nothing.
I ain't a doctor or nothing, but just being in this house, the ammonia smell will knock a baby out of you. You know what I'm saying?
He's shooting up heroin and meth and coke. It's so fucking hot. I got pregnant.
It's just hot.
What?
Ugh, gross. She said that got pregnant in the blood of an animal sacrifice, probably.
Jesus Christ.
She said Algarad would never go outside, and even if he had to go to the store, he would send Amber. He would not leave his house. She said she never saw any guns, though.
Not a single gun in the house. Did you not open the Amana? I mean,
I don't think you're going for the dishwasher,
No,
probably.
probably not.
Are there
Yeah.
clean cups in here? There's no clean cups anywhere. There never has been. She said Pazuzu's mom lived at the house, which was weird.
Yeah.
She said, though, she would only see Cynthia, Pazuzu's mom, go in and out of her room real quick. And, like, her room was a different part of the house. Nobody went in there.
Yeah.
She said she was really quiet, like she was scared to say anything. She said she couldn't handle this. She said about Amber, though. She said her change was so crazy. She said she couldn't handle someone spanking a dog for peeing on the floor. She was into peace, love, and happiness. She was a hippie. She wasn't a devil-worshipping Satanist killing machine that everyone is saying she is.
Right.
Well, at one point. So he is, at this point here, the weird part here, he's going to be declared. There's some weird shit going on here because now we're going to go to court and you get this guy. Take a look at him.
Yeah.
He's an easy guy for people to say,
Insanity.
you know, yeah, look how fucking crazy this guy is, obviously. So that's a problem that they have to think about here with this whole thing. By the way, I love that his house is filled with feces. And he's like, bring your chick friends over and tell them I want to bang them. And Amber's like, yeah, cool. My friends will totally want to fuck you.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Now, he's going to be fit, but what is not fit is his house. After a month, investigators, they release the house back to mom here, but they say that she can't live in the house because it's been declared unfit for human habitation.
Yeah.
And a house must be repaired or condemned.
Okay.
The experts try to decipher the writing on the walls. Okay.
The writing's literally on the walls.
It's all on the walls in blood. Mm-hmm. They said the walls inside the majority of the rooms are plastered with everything, both English and in Arabic. In an effort to decipher what the Arabic words say, they got a Dr. Ahmad Sharaf Eldin, a professor at Wake Forest University and an expert in the Arab language. So they explained the events surrounding Pazuzu to this guy, and he said that he felt he needed to stress that the Islamic religion and Satanism do not mix.
Right.
He's like, first of all, I want to tell you guys that, Satanism and this. He said one of the strongest beliefs in Islam is Satan is that entity you are struggling with in order to be a good person. To put Satan in Islam as something that you follow is absolutely ridiculous. Mm-hmm. That's the ridiculous part. I think a lot of shit here is ridiculous.
I mean, if anybody was a religious scholar, they should have known this.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He said that a lot of the words are not very clear Arabic words.
Right.
He said words on the front door, though. He said, what I can understand of it, it's, quote, this is the home of Satan. They said that Arabic could be seen written in at least 4 different places throughout the home. He said, the house of Satan. This is a completely contradictory gesture, the guy said. He said it doesn't. Then there's other ones. He said that he only writes and reads in English at an 8th grade level, Pazuzu, by the way. So,
but he's figuring out Arabic.
Yeah, he should maybe concentrate on English more and then figure out Arabic. So he said a lot of the words, quote, don't give any meaning in Arabic. Probably I would say he's writing some codes for magic or something like that. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about either. That is fucking amazing. Some of the words in Arabic written throughout the property translated to English words for shop or store and more and strong teacher or mentor.
Okay.
They said that, he said he added many of the words were not in Arabic or English. He believed many of them might have been a hybrid language, Hebrew or hieroglyphics, one of the 3.
Or nothing. It's gibberish.
Or
and
nothing,
bullshit.
some Sumerian horse shit.
Right.
They pay a tattoo artist to explain his shitty tattoos. This is Ronnie Whitesell, known as TikTok. And not for the app, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, not with a K, by the way. He said now he owns Dark Side Tattoos on High Point Road. He said, now you look at the situation he was in and you kind of understand what he's thinking. Pardon?
Is that right?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Shit in the corner makes the tattoo really hop off the skin.
Yeah, what? Wow.
There's bodies in the backyard. That's why this tattoo is so relevant.
That's really relevant. He said that the face is marked up with close to a dozen tattoos. He says they're all different versions of tribal markings. It's a lot of markings, not a real lot of decipherable shit. He doesn't say like "Hi Mom" on there or anything. He said that the tattoos on his chin is a Polynesian moko tattoo drawn on warriors during ceremonies or sacrifices to show tribal affiliation. He said the more tattoos on the face you had, the higher up in the tribe he was. He also said the tattoo on his cheek was a version of Celtic knotwork mostly worn by Viking warriors. He said it was on all their clothes, their armor, their swords, and their ships. And yes. So October 6, 2014, they make their first court appearance, Pazuzu and Amber. They both asked for court-appointed attorneys. And so the Crystal Nicole Matlock is accused of helping to bury one of the men.
Oh?
That's the other one there. So it comes out in court papers and it comes out publicly that the cops had been there with dogs before. So that was a fucking thing. That was a big, you guys are idiots here. Wow, Jesus Christ. They talk about how with Crystal, I'm trying to figure out exactly, she was accused of helping, I guess Josh is the one she helped bury. Here's the craziest thing in this whole story. The neighbors are surprised that there was bodies in the backyard.
This is good people.
Yep. They said that there's been rumors that, they were whispers of satanic rituals, maybe an animal sacrifice, some drug activities, but nothing real solid. I mean, come on. They said things have been quiet lately, and the neighbors, they said that, Algarod's mom here, Cynthia, has been nice to them. So they didn't understand it at all. They said one of the neighbors, this is that Keith Bryson guy, he said, it was a big shock. He said, my whole family's shaken up. They're scared. I tried to put everyone at ease. Yeah,
the man's got Viking tattoos on his face.
What are you talking? Yeah, another neighbor said, it's just a quiet little neighborhood. Everyone stays to themselves. Okay. She's next door to them.
Directly next door. She
doesn't smell that?
Right. There's no way you don't smell something or hear something.
Holy shit. Yeah. She said that she had been inside the house one time many, many years ago, but she said that Pazuzu had a, quote, devil-type drawing, but she chalked it up to something a teenager would do. She classified him as a little weird but polite.
A little weird.
A little weird. But polite. She said, they've always been nice to me. I never suspected anything like that. Another neighbor, Lauren Hurst, has lived across the street for 20 years and describes living in this neighborhood as, quote, awesome.
She's Corey Feldman from The Burbs. The fucking pizza dude.
This is awesome, man. Rock on. She said this is an exception to the rule, obviously. Yeah. She said, we were kind to them. They were kind to us. One time they helped our family put up a mailbox. And, they said there was a lot of hearsay about what was going on over there. But she decided a while back she wasn't going to judge people and do that. Yeah. Yep. She said that Bryson's family even invited them to church. But obviously that wasn't going to happen. Right. Bryson said, how did we not know there were bodies buried across the street? That's all of our questions. Yes. Yeah. Another woman, Carol Spears, lives down the street, and she said, yeah, I've heard about drug activity and stuff like that, but I'm very shocked to hear about a body.
Very?
Very. She said, I think we expected to hear that they found animal remains more than human remains. Have you heard of escalation of I want to kill something bigger now?
Right.
So, wow, that's amazing. So February 2015, foreclosure proceedings begin for the home.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's either got to, I don't even know how you rebuild that house. March 2015, Wells Fargo Bank says it plans to move forward with plans to foreclose on and demolish the home.
Oh, damn it.
April 25th, 2015, the house is demolished. to the cheers and great affection of the neighborhood.
Yeah,
yep.
They're thrilled.
They knocked the fucking house down, and the work crew was there beginning all this thing. They said it took about a little more than an hour for the claw to knock down the roof and walls.
Yeah, takes no time at all.
Not much, yeah. They said they heard cheers of woo-hoo and knock it down. The one neighbor said, quote, "You can just see the evil floating out."
Okay.
Floating out.
Yeah, how do you like dust particles and drywall breaking apart? It's all evil spirits.
How do you expect to be taken seriously as an adult person when you go, "You could just see the evil floating out"? How do you not just hit her in the head with your microphone and go, "Shut the fuck up, you dumb bitch. I'm sorry, but you're a fucking dummy. Sit on your fucking lawn chair, you fucking idiot."
All the evil coming out.
Just a floating out. No. She said, "It will be such a relief to be able to look out my front window and see it gone. I haven't been able to enjoy that view for many, many years." Yeah, now it'll be a field where bodies were once buried.
Right.
They said the instruction is to level the lot and put in grass, seed, straw, and fertilizer. They said then it'll go back to the Federal Housing and Urban Development Division, which will determine what happens with it after that. And, one neighbor also said, "I have to have someone lose their home over something like this, but I'm glad it's gone. I hate to see someone lose their home over something like this." What, 2 murders? What are you talking? Something like this. Something like she kept her fucking, like her lawn was too high. Or, you know what I mean? She kept her porch color wasn't with the HOA or something. There's bodies there.
She built a pergola in the backyard the HOA didn't approve.
Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. This is the same neighbor who said you could see the evil floating out. Uh-huh. She said, "You can't understand the worry about your kids getting sucked into the evil going on there." Clearly, there were youth who were attracted to the goings-on given the parties they had there. Yeah, that is
there's fucking
goings
murder.
On. Keith Bryson, the one neighbor, said, "Once in a while you could see the guy flopping around the pool, sometimes naked."
Jesus,
so he'd go in there
for
some reason, which is gross.
That's where he would probably take his bath.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He'd probably just take a dip in there. That was his bath. That's why he kept it over-chlorinated.
Right.
His skin must have felt terrible. So October 29th, 2015, here, he is facing a first-degree murder charge. They come into his cell. He is found unresponsive with a wound to his arm at 3 a.m. at the prison, where he'd been sealed on he'd been kept on a safekeeping order, by the way.
Really?
They're looking out for this. Prison officials tried to resuscitate him, but he is pronounced dead at 4:20 a.m.
What?
Yep. They take a little minute to release everything about the exact, what happened and everything like that, but I guess he was housed with the general population and that they would conduct bed checks every hour along with additional formal counts. They do their counts several times a day, she said, but he was in between bed checks there. He did that. Wow.
What did he do it with?
We'll find out here.
Yeah.
Amber's friend said, "I'm not the type of person to wish death on anybody." There's a but here coming.
Yeah.
I think he got what he deserved either way. It's not for me to judge. I'm not shocked. It's a full moon. Halloween's just around the corner. I'm a true believer in karma. You get what you get. Okay.
Halloween? What?
I don't know what that has to do with that. That last sentence was a real grab bag.
Sure was.
I'm not shocked. It's a full moon. Halloween's just around the corner. McRibs are out right now. I'm a believer in karma.
The black grows.
What the fuck are you talking about? She said, "The last week or so, Amber's been on my mind. Little things or a song would click and make me think of her. The way I always think about her, if I ever get a chance to talk to Amber, this is going to be my turning point on how I see her. If it is really Amber or if she's really crazy as well. I hope this is the case. I hope he was crazy enough to drag her in." So she says, hopefully she's good now.
Yeah.
So autopsy comes in here, and he died from severe blood loss from a deep wound to a major blood vessel in his left arm, and it's ruled a suicide. He's found in a pool of blood on a bed in his cell. They say that he had an incised wound on the upper part of his left arm at the pit of his elbow, so he went right after it.
Oh, he got right in it.
He was going for it. He wanted to die here. They said that he had a perforation of the left brachial artery, which is a huge blood vessel. Yeah. Also had superficial wounds on his left chest, left arm, and scalp, and also had rib fractures that came from prison officials trying to revive him, the autopsy said. They said they does not say how Algarad got the wound that ultimately killed him. And they don't say, a spokesman for the Department of Public Safety said he could not immediately answer questions by the deadline. Interesting. So according to all of this, later on, though, it's officially ruled a suicide. Yeah. Trying to figure out what the hell he did it with, though, is the problem. Yeah. So they said the autopsy report was just given that, and they never said what he did it with. Wow. So he had something sharp that he did, and we don't know what it was. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if he died right there, whatever he did it with would have to still be with him, I would think.
You'd think it's right there. Yeah, whether it be a razor blade or...
If it's not, I would think somebody else did it. Yeah.
If it's not there, it's a murder, man.
And I don't hear anything about that. Yeah. And he had a bunch of superficial wounds, too. So did somebody fucking, stab him up and work him over and slice his wrist and say, I mean, I don't know. If I was a guy who killed a lot of people in prison, I'd probably figure out how to make that shit look like suicides, because that happens all the time in prison. Yeah,
I certainly wouldn't. I certainly wouldn't leave it up to with me being a culprit.
Yeah,
I'd certainly leave it to him. He looks capable of it. Jesus,
look at that. Yeah, look at this nutcase. Wouldn't you kill yourself if you were up for this kind of charges?
I'm impressed that on one side of his face he did get that light brown tattoo that he had. It's like perfectly straight. It's very
it's not bad. Somebody must have done a decent job here. So Amber going to court, she decides, because now they don't even have Pazuzu to blame.
Right.
To have him a live creature like that to blame would be very helpful to her, but instead she pleads guilty to second-degree murder, armed robbery, and accessory after the fact. The judge decides for her that you, ma'am, may fuck off a total of 30 years and 8 months, all the way up to 39 years and 2 months in prison.
That's a lot.
Yes. So Crystal Matlock, the other person here, she also pleaded guilty to conspiracy to accessory after the fact and murder and was sentenced to about 4 years in prison.
Yeah. What about Dixie's grave-digging ass?
Dixie somehow, because that's why she said, I took pictures and I was trying to help, and I was just doing recon for the cops, basically. Dixie. I was scared and I didn't know what to do, even though she went back several times and they didn't charge her, which is insane, I think.
Unbelievable.
But questions still remain here. Wetzler's former girlfriend and the mother of his son wonders whether these bodies could have been found sooner. Maybe we could have figured that out the first time they went there. So she said it's frustrating. If he was somebody they considered important, it wouldn't have gone that way. I don't think it's right for the family. So basically, they just said, I don't know, he's not here, fuck it. He's some drug addict, homeless guy. He's somewhere, which is very, very interesting. Now, Cynthia here, she has, this is wild. She has Pazuzu pictures all over the place in her house.
Really?
There is one of him, and he's clearly, a pic from jail.
Yeah.
And she shows the picture to the documentary, and people said, here's my little warrior again. My little warrior.
Ma, you can't say that.
Ma, come on.
You can't
Jesus
say that.
Christ. My little warrior. Unfucking believable. Amber, though, is still in prison. She is not going to be out for a while.
30 years.
But Crystal is not. Crystal is out. But
yeah.
Amber's in there. It's weird that out of all this, Amber's the one holding the bag for everything.
Yeah, she's fucked.
She's fucked. But she got just as into this. She's like, I can't remember now which one it was. God damn, it's going to drive me nuts. But she's like the one chick in the Manson family who chased the Folger girl down in the fucking yard and carved her the fuck up. Like, at that point, you're just as involved. You're just as into this as Manson. He talked you into it, but now you're into it. So, I mean, what the fuck? Once you're into it, you're into it.
That was oh Jesus, I forget her name too.
I know, because they're all mixed up in my head with this. Yep.
She's so vicious looking.
God damn it, that was the Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue because I know all of them and I read 100 books. And no, I'm not. No, we're not looking it up. We're almost done. We got to get no.
Right,
you all can look that shit up. Yeah, we're deep into this episode. But check all that out.
Houten it wasn't it? Is it Van
I
Houten?
don't
I think
remember.
it is. Yeah,
I don't fucking remember. So anyway, there you go, everybody. That's Pazuzu and one of the craziest people I think we've ever talked about. Probably at
Truly
least
disgusting.
every other monster we've talked about at least bathed.
Yeah.
They at least bathed and didn't pop the head off of a fucking
God, Jesus,
off of a robin because it was like a flask and then drink its blood. So there you go. If you like that episode or anything about the show, please give us 5 stars. Get on whatever app you're on and do that. It helps out a lot. Also, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Oh, baby, live shows are available 2024, full slate, only 12 shows.
Right.
Here's our thinking. We tried to do 12. We don't have time. We can't do 30 shows. So we're going to do the 12, and we were like, let's do them in centralized locations so people can come because people seem to like to travel to the show. So that's what we're doing. We're doing, let's see, we're starting off the year with Sacramento, San Francisco. We got Phoenix, we got Austin, we got Milwaukee, we got Minneapolis, Oklahoma City, Kansas City, Nashville, Durham, Terrytown, Boston.
Yeah.
I believe that's all of them. So get in there. These tickets went on sale already, and they are going like mind-blowingly fast at the moment.
Excessively fast, yeah.
Really fast. You think, oh, well, Boston's in a year, and it's a big theater. Don't get your tickets now. They will. Yeah, they're going to be gone real quick here, especially with Christmas coming up. This is a fine last-minute gift or even a late gift. Oh, here's that thing I got you. Yeah. So do that. Jump in there. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Also, follow us on social media. We are at Small Town Murder on Instagram, at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook. Listen to our other 2 shows.
Oh, boy.
Crime in Sports, our OG fucking show that we love, and you don't need to like sports. You need to like crazy murder stories, which I think you do, because we have a ton of murder stories this year on Crime in Sports, and you'll get into the rest of it because it's good comedy. And speaking of good comedy, your stupid opinions, I'm going to say it right now. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Your Stupid Opinions is the funniest podcast that there is on the internet.
It's terrific.
You listen to that show and tell me if the laughs per minute aren't better than any stand-up special you've watched recently. And I put everything on that shit. We're not full of shit.
True.
We will say, wow, we suck, and we're very self-deprecating. That shit is awesome, and you're
awesome
fucking up if you're missing it. Honestly, check that out. Do all of that. So certainly also get Patreon, patreon.com/crime and sports. You get all the bonus material, $5 or above. You get 200 bonus episodes to binge on. You get all sorts of shit. New ones every other week. One Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder. This week is no different. Yeah. This week, what you're going to get we're only going to do one this week, though, because it's Christmas. So.
Yeah, but it's good.
We apologize. Once a year we do one. We made it a doozy. It is about the Garden, the quote unquote alleged cult there. It's a documentary on HBO or a series. It's like 7 parts. And it's basically mixing back to the earth like, real earthy hippie people with survivalist militia people and making them in one group because what they all have in common is they think the world's going to end and they want to be in a field when it happens. So
composters and people that were on a post.
That's it. It's wild. It's called The Garden. We'll talk all about that. Patreon.com/crime and sports. And you get a shout out at the end of the show. And when does that happen? Jimmie White. Motherfucking now. Hit me with the names of the most wonderful goddamn people that have made our year spectacular.
This week's executive producer are Jens Christian Kraus. Jens? What is Jens? What is it? Is that Jens? Is it Jens?
Jens.
Could be Jens. Could be Jens Christian.
We've come across with it. Jens Christian Anderson.
Did you know that Mike Kekich loves us?
Really?
Did you know that?
Awesome. Love Mike Kekich. Killer. Fucking rock on. Hello, Mike Kekich. We love you back.
Jay Spiegel, JC maybe? I don't know. This person knows Mike Kekich. And
tell him we're fans.
Said Mike is a big fan.
That's amazing. We love him, so that's great. I love it. I love when people we like us. That's great. Makes me so happy.
Other executive producers are Allison Heimer, Wolfie, and Buffles. Buffles is very proud of you, Wolfie. That's what I'm told. Also,
good for you, Wolfie.
Yeah, Ni Nguyen Manicown, I think, and her husband, Thepelak.
Oh,
those don't sound like real words.
I don't think you. Yeah, I think you pronounced those wrong, maybe.
I'm sure I destroyed those, but those are people. Those are the roundabout letters and the sounds they make.
Those are some people.
Other producers this week are Liz Vasquez, Peyton Meadows, Eva Dodson, Julie the Cockatoo, and Andrea Darnell, Janice Hill, Rabbi Shmulevich, Daniel Simpson Day. Daniel Simpson Day. He's still missing. I don't know what that means.
Oh, wow.
Who is that?
Is his day like Arbor Day?
I don't know. Maybe
Daniel Simpson Day?
He might have two last names, like Sandra Day O'Connor. I don't know.
For some reason, I don't know why. I don't know. Completely misunderstood that and thought we were talking about that day.
You may be right. I may be wrong.
I doubt it. I think you got this one. I think this one's, you're right.
Rachel Futch Parker, Paul, is that right? Futch Parker? Or are they trying to do No, all right. Paul Lauk Jr., I'm staying away from it. Jessica Kim, B. Dallas, Craig Davies, Jackie Rishgel, Patrick Sturm. Yep, Lindsay Shevlin, Kayla DeCourcy, Natalie Cologne, a dumb kid in Delaware, Crystal Hope, Heather Chambly maybe, Melissa II, Tristan Maxwell, Jane Henry, no, that's Jane Cherry, what? Vicky Dickerson, Miles McCann, Grant Stouter, Tess with no last name, Katie Lobb, Allie McLeod, Amy Jones, Jason Bird, Michelle Mead, August Furman, Candy Barr, that's not real, Terry Hudspeth, Solomon Ballum Reed, Heidi Stillwell, I'm right behind you, Stillwell, Justine Hughes, Logan Kane, Stillwell Angel, that's another one in the movie. Logan Kane, Trisha Potter, Travis Gobble, Kyra Richter, Lily Morgan, Angela Hilton, Ivana Abrantes.
Yeah, that's probably exactly right.
Abrahantes.
Abrahantes. Hey.
Olivia with no last name. Jasad with no last name. Scott E. Beck-Sari. Clifton with no last name. Callie Mozart. Helen Lepirus. Max Power. Megan Obergoss. Max Power. Who is that?
Homer Simpson thing.
There it is.
Max Power.
All right. Gemma Grace Hold'em. Boston Smith. Jillian Marzajanik. Mars Janik, Layla Washington, Jared Rafferty, Amanda Ives, Rachel Fowler, Ruthie with no last name, Courtney McPherson, Zach Fisher, Vivian Strong, Erica with no last name, Circus Hood, Ashley Mustafa, Daniel Johnston, Kylie Jackson Reeve, Elliot Russell, She Sells Seashells, B. Carmian, Melissa Tremont, Bex Miles, Tabby with no last name, Clarice Enyart, Amy Villa maybe, Emily Kostick, Steve Kakamisi, Peyote with no last name, Sabri, Woodbury, Loki the Chosen One, Robert Starlowski, Amanda with no last name, Jessica McCown, Chris Ballantyne, Cassandra Nordwald, Pete with no last name, Rachel Koenig, Dustin Ferre, Mega Whimsicott, June Wallace, Dave with no last name, Glenda Piper, Amanda Boland, Jennifer and Jessica Wilson, Kristen Elmore, Jasmine with no last name, Cal Scalabrini, Anna Jory, Cedar Awanyo, Akaba. What is that? Sador, maybe? I don't know. Joshua Hutchinson, Kendall Hansen, Jessica with no last name, R. Lyon Berg, Annie Moore, Michelle Stewart, Irma with no last name, Victoria Haas, Crystal Harpe, Antonio Clifton, Tim Marks, Mariah Heap, Elizabeth Blackburn, Krista with no last name, Andrea Harbin Monahan, Crystal Burrow, Brewer, Kathy Peliconio. Felicioni.
He tried to roll
Cora Routledge, Michelle Sayer, Lexicon with no last name, Hannah with no last name, Graham Baggs, Alan Fulmer, Amy Finazzo, Jonah Shepard, Nick with no last name, Brad Kingsley, Melissa's a deadhead, Dennis Brody, Emily Turner, Ants Div, Marcos Gennaro, Copperhead, Hayden Wright, Michael Bjorkland, Christopher Jennings, Cherry Sheva Prava Dama wrong.
Yes. That's the name. That's the name of a
Guy,
Seth
right?
MacFarlane producer. Yeah, she's a very, very important producer who I'm sure has never heard of us.
There's no way that person listens to us.
But I like that they tried to put the name in for you.
We're going to discuss this later. Steve Trotsky, Laura Rebecca, Emma Salisbury, Ann Tindeland Instabo, Elizabeth Whittington, Janie would know last name, Gypsy Princess, Melissa Trammell Star would know last name, Sarah Swanson, Jan Fuss, Brock Collette, Brandon would know last name, Margaret Grashishi, Alan Kelsey, Jenny Stringer, Liz would know last name, Catherine Taburn, Reed Erickson, Shannon Rodriguez, Ian Stark, Nancy Schock, RMG, Trina would know last name, Rose Sharpton, Cassie Clark, Rhonda Douglas, Carrie Ryan, Kayali Kalalani, that's not right, Douglas Schooler, Bree Lewis, Wade Johnston, Aaron Hudson, Leslie Schumer, Doug Shipley, Rose Nyland is my spirit animal, Derek Stocks, Christina Hines, David Buford, Bethany Hamilton.
I like Beefer.
Is Bethany Hamilton the name of the girl that lost her arm? I think it is.
Is it?
To a shark attack? I think
I might be. I think maybe you're right. You might be right.
Why did that just occur to me? But I don't know.
I don't know, but I think you're right.
All right. Simbri, Karasina, Trey Brett, Matthew Buckhop, Melissa Cupp, Nathaniel Jones, Sydney Bubser, Mike Sleeper, Rianne Lowen, Dylan Marrer, Sarah Ann, Alexis with no last name, Chris Bland, Cody Blevins, hey, Cody Peyton Chandler, and all of our patrons. You guys, you have no fucking idea how important and much this means to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, you magnificent bastards. We love you so much. Thanks for all you've done for us all year long. You want to follow us on social media, very easy. shutupandgivememurder.com. Drop-down menu, links to all that shit. Come back, keep following us. Tell your friends all about it. Let's make the next year the best goddamn year we could possibly make it, everybody. Thank you so much. Happy all your holidays, Christmas, whatever you're into. Happy that to you. And thank you so much for all you do for us. And we'll definitely see you next week. Yeah. Thank you. We'll be back.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.